interest-free financing on your next outdoor project. Chesterfield Fence and Deck, chesterfieldfence.com. It's 9:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors, The Chris and Amy Show.
Check it out.
St. Louis, Mound City, we are going to have a great day today.
On 104.1 FM.
Let's take it from the top.
KMOX.
No, we're just talking soccer here in the studio. Isn't Olaf good looking? Boy, he's a good looking fella. The soccer team needs to do a whole lot better. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji, welcome into the show today. 314-436-7900. To call us and to text us, we take your voice messages straight from the Odyssey app where you can record them and send them. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
And KMOX is partnering with Fox 2 here locally and the Red Cross to raise money for tornado victims. We're going to tell you how to do it. We're going to discuss that when we come back here in just a few moments.
And the big, beautiful bill passes through the House. We'll chat with Major Garrett, CBS Chief Washington correspondent, to get an update on all things in the Capitol.
Cardinals drop a series to the Tigers yesterday. They have a day off. They will have the Diamondbacks in town tomorrow. And in the Open Cup, City SC losing to Minnesota last night 3-2. But yeah, Olaf handsome.
Because they've been, I think was it Ben Hockman who wrote about Olaf Melberg, how it's time to go? I don't want to disparage him, but I saw that in the Post-Dispatch.
Well, yes.
That it was time for him to go.
I have seen, there was a report from, I don't know, some Scandinavian country, I think, saying that there is a good possibility that if something happens there could be a development. And if there is, we will, of course, discuss it when it happens, but nothing has happened yet.
I think we decided that one reason why it's probably difficult to let him go
is because he is
incredibly handsome.
Yeah.
How could you, if he walked into your office, you can't fire him.
No, hell no. He's getting better with age, too. every gray hair, that salt and pepper thing. Yeah, man. He probably walks in and they're like, you know what? Never mind. You're doing great. We need to keep you around, buddy.
He looks like an Olaf Melberg. I just think he walks into the room and everyone's like,
oh, hello. Hey.
Oh, hello.
What are you doing? You coaching our team? You can stay. All right. So this is serious stuff. Here at KMOX and Fox 2, we are partnering with the Red Cross. We are raising money for the tornado relief efforts because this is going to be an ongoing thing. It's not going to be like over after the weekend or next week or even next month. It is going to take a very long time to come back from the devastation that happened last Friday. So here's what we want you to do. There are multiple ways that you can assist, and we've been talking about those all week. But with us here at KMOX and Fox 2 and the Red Cross, we want you to go to KMOX.com/Red Cross to make a donation to the Red Cross. And here's the important thing, Amy.
Yep.
Well, you know the important thing. That all the money.
All of the money is going to stay local.
That's right.
So I know you hear the Red Cross and you think, okay, it's a big organization. Is it just going in the general pool? No. All of this money raised through the KMOX Fox 2 Red Cross Drive will stay local. It is 100% local to help those affected by the tornado right here in St. Louis. I think that is the most important thing and such a great way to help your neighbor, to love your neighbor, those affected by the tornadoes, as so many people lost everything. I was listening to Total Information AM this morning. Maria Kina talking to those in the Red Cross shelters, people who lost everything. One man was in the hospital, heard that there was a tornado, was released from the hospital. He was okay in the hospital that he was in, and he goes home, but there's no home. The home is gone.
Yeah, he thought he heard about it.
Yeah.
Thought it probably wasn't very bad, and then he got home and it was gone.
And
there was another woman she talked to who, and I don't know, I am so impressed with people who have something devastating happen to them, and they're like, I'm not. There are people worse off than me, and she was, has medical issues,
Yeah.
and she had
Like her-
damage as well.
She was
and
saying she has diabetes. She
Yeah.
needs to get her insulin. She's trying to reach out to people who are running the shelter so that, just trying to keep affairs in order and make sure she can at least, at the very least, get her medication. And like you said, she was pointing to people who had it worse off.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm because I don't know how I would be if something like that happened to me. I hope that I would have that sort of grace, but I don't know that I would. I probably wouldn't. I mean, I don't know how how somebody like that has such a good heart that they are still thinking about other people when they themselves have gone through something really traumatic.
Yeah. And just seeing the community come together and just groups of people with work gloves on and boots and jeans,
Yeah.
all different ages, just coming together to help clean up, do what they can. I know Matt Pajeski was at the Foundry and the fundraiser there and seeing the pictures of all of the items that were donated at that Foundry fundraiser last night. Matt, you said our friend Mark Maxwell from KSDK was there, and it was a good turnout.
Yeah, a lot of people showed up. Lots of local businesses out there. Cars were lined up unloading supplies, diapers, food, things like that. It was a great turnout. Yeah, Mark Maxwell did a great job emceeing the event. There was music. Great food as always. It was a great event.
When we were at even, friends, right? Where you may not be able to self-delegate right now in certain areas because of power lines and big equipment, right? Like Forest Park has said, thank you for the outpouring. Right now, we've had kind of needed experts, professionals to come in and help clean up the most dangerous areas. But our friend Dave Grelly from the Playa Doors, here's what he did. He has a truck. So he said, you know what? Come to my house, give me all the supplies. This is to his friends, the people he knows. I'll throw them in my truck and I'll drive them to the O'Fallon Park because there is a lot of traffic there, right? Because people are donating.
Right.
What a great idea to make yourself a little drop-off point. Say, hey, all of my friends come together, drop the stuff off at my house, and I'll bring it to the donation center.
A lot of people are doing what they can do, what they can think of to do, and it is very much appreciated. And again, I don't think it is, we can't say it enough that this is going to be an ongoing, long time effort. This will take a while. And so we're going to have to stay on top of it, and we will continue to raise money. We are going to continue to help the Red Cross in their efforts. So again, KMOX.com/Red Cross. That's what we look. Is that what we're wanting, Amy?
Yeah, I think
right.
so. We have a
Amy
question.
just showed me a number.
Yeah, and we need you. 314-436-7900. 314-436-7900. Call or text. You can also leave us a voice message. It's a funny question, but it's actually a very serious question.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm a little nervous about this.
So we want to drive up as many donations as possible. We want to drive that number up for the Red Cross donation. So we thought we want, if we can hit $60,000, 60,000 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to be doing this for 2 weeks. That's until June 6th.
Yep.
$60,000. Here was our idea, and we need to know if this idea is okay or if it's offensive because we came up with it, and we came up with it as a great idea. As you know, the brand new Pope is from Chicago, and he is a White Sox fan. And Chicago, the United States, I mean, we're losing our minds. It feels like we won the Olympics. I really wasn't following the Pope race that closely. And then when they said it's an American Pope, I felt like we won the Olympics. It was remember that race with Michael Phelps, the swimming relay, when we beat France? It felt like that. I felt so excited. So, of course, Chicago fans, White Sox fans are excited. And now what you're seeing at the White Sox games, and remember, the White Sox have nothing to look forward to. This is all they have.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
They painted a mural at Guaranteed Rate Field. They painted a mural of the Pope, and people have been dressing up in papal costumes and showing up in the bleachers. They had 6 popes in the bleachers the other day. And I think it's so cool. There's so many popes, and I think it's kind of cool because they're like, the Pope is a White Sox fan. So our idea was, if we hit $60,000, this is real, $60,000 in 2 weeks, Chris Ranji will go to the White Sox game, dressed as the Pope.
When the Cardinals are there.
When the Cardinals are there,
Cardinals
sorry,
are there
yes,
the
in mid-June.
June 17th, 18th, 19th.
Midweek. So he'll go to the rate. He'll dress up as the Pope. It'll be the Cardinals and the White Sox. And we thought we could even partner with his buddies at The Score, another Odyssey station in Chicago, right? Maybe get some Chicago donations to the Red Cross and partner with The Score. The only thing is we can't tell if it's offensive to dress as the Pope. Like, this is an honest question.
This is a serious question.
It's a serious question. Is this offensive?
I am not Catholic.
Yes.
Okay.
He is not.
So I feel like maybe I shouldn't be allowed to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like if you are Catholic, you can do it if you want, but I'm not. So if you're Catholic, and I show up and I have no attachment to this religion whatsoever, except I know people who are, including my parents.
Your parents are Catholic.
Yeah, well,
that's close.
Yeah, but I wasn't raised Catholic.
But here's the thing: people are
they
dressing.
became Catholic after I left the house.
Right. Okay. So people are dressed. You drove them.
I drove them to Catholicism.
Yes, but people are dressed up as the Pope, not to make fun of the Pope, but they're doing it because they're excited that Pope Leo is a White Sox fan. Right. So it is done in a way that they're so excited. But at the same time, I can also see how this is kind of offensive. And I don't know what to do.
And you're putting me up to it.
Yes.
So I'm the one who's going to offend people.
He would be the one offending people. And
So-
we're actually not joking. We don't know what to do because we really want to hit the $60,000 number. We thought it would be so great because here's the thing. There's a non-zero chance that the Pope knows who Chris Ranji is.
That's true. Yeah.
Pope Leo was in Chicago while Chris Ranji was there.
That's right.
And it's like, oh my goodness, this guy is a fan of the White Sox. He knows who Chris Ranji is.
I'm pretty sure that he would get angry at me. I bet he was listening. I bet he would listen to a post-game show.
Yeah.
And he would swear at me in Italian.
I don't think they're, maybe. I don't know.
He probably, whatever the Italian word for this guy, whatever that is, he's probably saying
this
that.
guy.
This guy, listen to this guy.
But here's the thing. Ranj is like a pretty big deal in Chicago. You guys, like people.
Huge.
He's a huge deal. And so we thought this would be so great because we'll get the Score involved. We'll get another radio station. We'll get the Score involved and he'll be in Chicago dressed as the Pope if we hit $60,000.
If we hit $60,000, but we need, first of all, for you to tell us if you're Catholic, tell us if this is okay. But you have to be Catholic. Like you can't just be on the outside saying, yeah, that's okay. It's not my religion. What do I care?
think anybody can call in. You can tell us why. You can tell us why you have standing or why you don't have standing.
Right.
And we really don't want to be disrespectful. When I saw the 6 popes in the bleachers at the White Sox game, I didn't think it was disrespectful. I thought they were excited because Pope Leo's a fan. You have Obama and the Pope.
Right.
I mean,
first of all, how do you squander that?
How do you blow it?
You have a president and a pope, a fan of your organization, and you're an awful team.
Yeah.
How do you blow that?
So,
anyway, let us know. 314-436-7900. You can also, if you want to, leave a voice message on the Odyssey app. Tell me why it isn't okay.
And while you're thinking about it, why don't you donate at KMOX.com/Red Cross?
Yes.
Okay, now this is offensive.
How is this offensive?
Don't play this.
I didn't play it. All right.
No, because now it sounds like we're mocking it.
We're not
Ranji, the 14th.
No, Matt,
see?
Oh my gosh.
Now we're really in
it's
trouble.
Bad.
Let us
That's
know if
not
it's
what we
okay.
meant.
But donate what you can. KMOX.com/Red Cross. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
All day today, 104.1 FM KMOX and Fox 2 are joining forces to support the local chapter of the Red Cross for a mega blitz to help those affected by Friday's St. Louis tornado. To find out how you can help, stay with KMOX all day or use the Fox 2 STL app.
If you are a shelter insurance policyholder and have damage to your home, car, farm, or business due to the recent storms, please call 1-800-SHELTER. That's toll free 1-800-743-5837 or report your claim online at shelterinsurance.com. Early reporting of your loss will help Shelter schedule adjusters to handle your claim. Take whatever reasonable steps you can to protect your property from additional damage and call 1-800-SHELTER to report your claim today.
Spring into a new home with amazing savings at TR Hughes. Hi, I'm Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half up to $40,000 in options and up to $5,000 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
I'm Emma Greed, and I've spent the last 20 years building, running, and investing in some incredible businesses. The more success I've had, the more people started coming to me with questions. How do you start a business? How do you raise money? How do I bounce back from failure? On my new podcast, Aspire with Emma Greed, I'll be answering these questions and more through weekly conversations with the smartest minds out there. Listen to and follow Aspire with Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Not available in all states. Rates vary. Building a financial safety net for your family can be tough, but with term life insurance through Ethos, you can have peace of mind that they can pay the mortgage and other bills if something happens to you. With coverage in as little as 10 minutes, all online, Ethos finds your best rate across our multiple trusted carriers. Some policies as low as $1 a day billed monthly. And even in uncertain times, your term life insurance rates and payout don't change. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Meet me at the Muni in Forest Park.
Hey, it's Julie Tristan for the Muni Opera House. For the best selection and prices, become a Muni subscriber. See all 7 Broadway hits for as low as $126. Great seats are going fast. Pick your night, price range, and seat. Single performance tickets on sale May 19th. Single tickets start at just $21. Buy at muni.org. Call 314-361-1900 or visit the box office in Forest Park.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9-all-zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
11:20 a.m. 104.1 FM and streaming on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you however you listen, wherever you listen.
Amy just did a legit spit take because Pajeski said something funny, which we cannot repeat. So don't you wish you had been here? It is the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX. We need your donations, KMOX.com/Red Cross. That is how we are accepting donations for the Red Cross, and in a partnership with Fox 2. We are really excited to get your help. And we know people here in St. Louis love to help out. And all of the money raised here by the Red Cross will stay local in the tornado relief efforts. 314-436-7900. These guys here in this studio have put me up to this.
Well,
and they have decided that when the Cardinals visit the White Sox middle of June, that they thought it would be fun if I dressed up as the Pope and went to a game if we reached the $60,000 donation mark by June 6th.
It's called an incentive, Ron.
It's an incentive.
It's an incentive. We thought, our thought was like, how can we raise money? We want to get $60,000 raised through KMOX and Fox 2 and the Red Cross. $60,000. If we do it, Ron will go to a White Sox game dressed as the Pope. We could partner with The Score, which is an Odyssey station in Chicago. We get donations from Chicago, but then we realized maybe it's offensive.
You guys talked about it being an incentive. I don't know if everybody agrees with that. Peggy from Shiloh doesn't think it's an incentive.
Your idea to dress up as Pope at the White Sox game, while kind of funny, isn't really an incentive to donate to the Red Cross drive. Period. I don't think it'll help raise much money.
Okay,
I can't believe
Peggy.
she gave us credit for being funny.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting her to think it was funny. Thank you, Peggy.
That is a really nice compliment.
No, I was afraid because that's why we're asking you. You think like, oh, they're making fun of it. No, we're not. That's why we're asking you. Because I don't want it to come across wrong. Because all the popes at the rate right now, there were 6 popes in the bleachers. They were excited because Pope Leo is a White Sox fan.
This texter says, I am Catholic and I say do it. What is the purpose of you doing it? Duh. I think Pope Leo XIV would definitely say yes.
Because he's a fan.
He might. Let's
That's
ask Joe, who is here in St. Louis. Joe, what's up?
Hi, good morning. What people think are fun and other people don't, the Pope isn't something that's about fun. And I think if you were to call him up or sit down in front of him, I think he would say to you that the seat that he holds in the Roman Catholic Empire isn't a fun position. And I think the people that put on an imitation uniform to attend a baseball game and sit there and dress as the Pope, it's not, you could put any adjective you want on it. You can say it's disrespectful. It's not right. But
okay. Yep. See,
No,
I
thank you.
think
That's what he was worried about.
that's what I'm worried about. I think there are a lot of people who would feel that way. Like this texter who says, yes, it's quite offensive. It's mocking the Holy Father and those depending on the donation. Well, we're not mocking people who need donations.
Yeah.
That's absolutely not. But I can see the first part of that being correct.
Yeah.
But there are other Catholics like this one who says, I'm Catholic. I think dressing up in the papal garb is totally okay. Maybe just have him pray a Hail Mary, Our Father, and Glory Be, and he'll be good.
Well,
like I have to do that?
So here's the thing. First of all, doing a stunt, that's what this is, to raise funds is not a novel idea. Who was the guy that like for cancer or hurricane victims? I don't know. He slept on a billboard for 2 days. You know, yes.
I don't remember that.
And another guy stayed in a parking garage for like a week. That was here in St. Louis. That's what I mean. People do things because you want attention so that you
Because we want, the bottom line is we want money.
We want as much money
Red
as
Cross.
possible to go to the Red Cross. And even if people donate because they're like, yeah, that's funny, Ranj. You know, I mean, you go, well, this is an attention grab. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. That's exactly,
what
what
we're
it
trying
is.
to
We
do.
want to get as much money to the Red Cross, and you guys are donating already. This is insane. Insane. Thank you so much to everyone who's donating. But yeah, we weren't trying to be rude.
This texter says, former Catholic, now atheist. I don't find it offensive at all.
Well,
I think it would be hilarious. Well, of course you're an
you would.
atheist.
We need more Mary Elizabeths and Mary Margarets to text in.
How come we haven't heard from, we did hear from a Joseph, actually.
So I have some extended family members because like a lot of my extended family members are Catholic, like a lot of Catholic mark scores. We were the German Catholics. I'm the odd one not being Catholic. My family is the odd one, but my extended family, a lot of German Catholics. And I know for a fact, having talked to them, that they think it's like awesome because they sent me pictures. Because some of them are in Chicago, sent me pictures like, look at this. Isn't this so cool? All the popes in the bleachers because he's a White Sox fan. So some of the German Catholics are okay with it.
Steve in Richmond Heights, what do you think?
Hey, guys. First time, long time. I've always wanted to say that.
Hey. What a sports radio call.
No, seriously, though, I don't think the problem is sacrilege. I think the problem is going to be the big hat because whoever's sitting behind you is not going to be able to see the game, and they're going to be upset.
Okay.
You have to go with the beanie.
Okay. That's true. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but
Steve's
the big
right.
hat. You got to go with the big hat.
The big hat does look better.
Just sit in the last row in the bleachers.
This text message says Chris would have to be humble to be the Pope. That's not nice.
That's a great point. Thank you, texter.
I don't like myself that much.
Imagine if you did, because you're insufferable as it is. If this is you not liking yourself, geez Louise.
Give us money. Give the Red Cross money. KMOX.com/Red Cross. This is an ongoing effort with Fox 2 and KMOX and the Red
people are
Cross all
donating.
partnering. Yes.
This is peer pressure. This is when good peer pressure, like call your friends, text your friends, say, hey, I donated to those affected by the tornado. Now I'm challenging you to do it. Truly, we are coming together. We just started this. We're at $26,000 already. Donate. Call your friends. Call your family members. These are our neighbors, right? This is the city of St. Louis hit by this historically tragic tornado. It's so easy. KMOX.com/Red Cross.
This text message says, this Catholic also thinks it's disrespectful. Why not wear a T-shirt with a Pope on it and carry an American flag? Okay. That's an idea too, but it's not as fun.
We want it to be more global.
I think we do want it to be more global. Brian McKenna Day is coming up May 31st. Brian McKenna, of course, a longtime radio personality here in St. Louis, beloved by the community, and he was killed several months ago. JC Corcoran is the host of JC's Wayback Machine on News Talk STL 101.9 and 94.1, and he is the MC for this event, and JC joins us next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
Hi, this is Steve Butts with the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. I know we're all experiencing sticker shock when you get your insurance premium. Now more than ever, you need an independent insurance agent to find the best value for your family's insurance needs. Crawford Butts, family owned and operated for more than 60 years. Please give us a call at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com.
Currently, it is 59 degrees and sunny in downtown St. Louis. It's going to stay mostly sunny all day long, a high of 70. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and a high of 72. Weather sponsored by Terrace Senior Living of Eureka.
Check out the Terrace in Eureka for affordable senior living with 24-hour nursing supervision, delicious meals, medication management, and activities. The Terrace is affordable and will work with your Medicaid plan. Go to rspseniorliving.com and look for the Terrace Private Assisted Living.
Charlie Brennan with Dr. Colleen Bosler from the Audiology Center. What can people expect when they visit one of your doctors at the Audiology Center?
Expect a friendly greeting and a waiting room stocked full of refreshments. But more importantly, a patient should expect that they're treated on an individual basis. We are not retail, and we pride ourselves on our medical model. Each hearing aid is catered towards each patient's unique needs. Expect a full history intake where we get to know you and your personal needs, and then we'll complete a full battery of tests where we can adequately diagnose your hearing health. We want you to understand those results right away, so directly following your tests, we're going to go over everything extensively. Finally, at that time, we'll develop a customized treatment plan built around you as an individual.
The Audiology Center, 3 locations in the St. Louis area, 636-441-7470, The Audiology Center, STL.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji, 104.1 FM KMOX. We are accepting donations to the Red Cross, KMOX.com/Red Cross for the tornado relief effort. We're partnering with Fox 2 on this endeavor, and we'd appreciate it if you go to that website and make whatever donation you can. We will continue to discuss that throughout the day today. Right now, we are joined by J.C. Corcoran, a longtime radio host. Yeah, well, I don't know.
Some sort of clerical error or a breakdown in security in the building.
The door opened and there you were.
Well, to be honest, our boss left the country, and that's when we okay, bring him in now.
Yeah.
We had to wait till he left.
Is there a way that we can keep him overseas? Is that possible? I don't know.
Hey, that's a great question.
I did make a lot of history here. One day they walked in and they said, "JC, your history." Oh, yeah. So it's the way it goes sometimes.
Did they? I want, when I eventually get fired, I do want to be escorted out. Did you get an escort?
That is a very healthy attitude.
Yeah,
I know.
That is an exceptionally mature way to approach this, because all radio jobs are temporary.
100%. You would not believe the backup jobs I have right now.
Let's list them right now.
Well, teaching, tutoring, cleaning, writing. Here's what I will say. I want to be escorted out because I've always gone by the phrase or the motto: if you're going to fail, fail spectacularly.
So they will escort you out.
Yes.
If you're here. The one time I got
is
fired.
Being thrown out of the window, does that count as being escorted out?
I guess if they go with you.
Well,
splat.
I guess they're with you until you leave. So that's an escort. Yeah. So the one time I was fired was over the phone. So I didn't get escorted.
Oh, that's
out.
Nice. That's like being broken up with by text. That ever happened to you?
Well, it's happened to him.
Has it really?
Via text.
You got bounced.
Oh, JC, it's a whole ordeal.
You got to get JC's opinion on some sisters.
It's awful.
Okay, hold on. It's not both of them. So I met this lady over.
Lady.
Yeah, this lady.
Yeah.
In
Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
Lady.
I'm trying to be.
All right.
So I met this lady in December and hit it off and went well. I was going to go see her for New Year's Eve, maybe. And she got real weird.
You had to go out of town to see her.
Yeah, she got real weird on me. Suddenly, out of nowhere. It was going great until it wasn't. And then she said, "Hey,
relationship advice here. I wasn't counting on this."
No, this is great.
Yeah, you gotta. This is unbelievable.
And she said, "I can't hang out New Year's Eve for whatever reason." I said, "Okay, fine." So I went out with people, and about 9 o'clock at night, she walks into the bar I was at with a dude,
with another guy,
Yeah.
and then get this, JC. She says, "You know what? I think you'd be great with my sister."
In what sense of the word?
She thought I should date her sister.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't. Yeah, come on. What's the matter with you? So that was it.
People got to start being nice to one another again.
Right?
Come on.
Right?
Seem like a nice, upstanding young man.
I'm
no,
fine.
well, that's a wrong read on your part.
I don't know anymore.
What's been going on with you, man?
Well, I would like to meet up with the director of highway construction in the state of Illinois, because I drove I made the drive this time. It's supposed to be about a 15-hour drive from Tampa, Florida. So I stayed overnight with a former friend of mine, used to work with, Lori Mack. She's living in Montgomery, Alabama. So we had a nice dinner the other night, and it should have been another 8 hours to St. Louis. But I ran into 7 highway construction projects just from the point where you go get on 57 north to pick up 40 and then come in. 7. And in only 2 of the 7 were there actual workers present.
Oh, yeah.
But everything is down to one lane, and it added 2.5 hours. So an 8-hour trip actually went 10.5 hours yesterday. So I won't be standing upright anytime soon.
Well, you should just drive in Missouri. They never work on the roads here.
Oh, well.
Take that back. They do work on the roads.
Orange barrels just seem to be part of the countryside here. It's just part of what you get when you come to St. Louis.
Illinois loves to do highway projects.
Well, let me just tell you.
I think it's ambitious. I like it.
I think it's fine. Just don't do them all at the same time. You drive for 20 minutes and then there would be another one and you'd be backed up for 45 minutes. Don't do them all at the same time.
I'll tell you what I think is going on. I think that there's some sort of conspiracy with the orange barrel manufacturers. Where they've bought so many of them in the state of Illinois, they have to use them. So they just close lanes.
How many orange barrels did you buy? About 100 miles of orange barrels.
Amy, does he think that the earth is flat too? Is that possible? The conspiracies are coming out.
Yeah. Oh my God. It is.
Yeah. The Pope stuff was interesting. I was raised Catholic.
Okay, this is
I'm
a great
recovering.
question.
I'm recovering.
Yeah.
All that stuff that is beaten into your head at a very early age. The Baltimore Catechism. Do you remember that? What is the sacrament? I'm doing this off the top of my head. What is the sacrament? A sacrament is an outward sign instituted by Christ to give grace. How did God make us? God made us because he loved us. In what way did God make us? He made us in his image and likeness. That stuff is all there. It's like 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bun. I'd never memorized that, but one day it was just there. So here I am at a certain age. And that stuff is still in my head. But, whenever you are famous in whatever arena, whatever theater we're talking about here, whether it's on a local level, you guys on radio, or whether you're a national celebrity or an international celebrity, it comes with the territory that people are going to have a little fun with you. Some of it will be a little more hard-edged, maybe something that's actually bordering on ridicule. But as my dad used to say, the higher up you are on the ladder, the more of your butt is exposed. And that's
pretty good.
That's what we're talking about. Look at all that Pope on a rope stuff 30, 40 years ago. Don't you remember? You're too young to remember this.
That is.
They would sell.
Sounds awful.
It was soap, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was soap on a rope.
Yeah.
And it was soap on a rope. But somebody said, well, soap rhymes with Pope. So let's get a little caricature of the Pope. And you had the Pope on a rope.
Yeah.
And you shower rubbing the Pope on your body.
Well, that seems really offensive.
That gets into a dangerous area, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, that's
so
why.
You think it's okay for me to do this?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
If you're famous on whatever level, it comes with the territory. If you don't, he shouldn't have run. If he thought
should have dropped out.
If he thought he was gonna, and you couldn't stand there with your wife though, like they always do when they drop out. You always have the wife right there, but you can't have that with the Pope.
Yeah.
But it's just everybody calm down, God.
Well, and I think they're doing it, like I said, because they're excited. We've never had an American Pope before, and they're excited that he's a South Side Pope. That's outstanding.
Well, for years, I played on the air a comedian by the name of John Caponera. He's mostly known for doing his Harry Carey impersonation. Hey, the Pope is here at Wrigley today. And he complaining about the Pope is sitting in front of the kids and they couldn't see, so they just started sticking him in the back, and he turned around and you get big hat day at Wrigley. There's a whole thing that goes with it. And he's Catholic, and he grew up on the South Side, and he's a Sox fan too. And all people wanted to do was hear that bit again. They're like, "Can you put that? Can you post that?" And people remember that stuff. Again, you're famous, comes with the territory. The end. Next show.
Okay. That's a McLaughlin group. See, Jason,
very good.
Oh,
it's actually not.
Yeah.
It's actually Dana Carvey.
It's Dana Carvey doing McLaughlin.
John
group.
McLaughlin.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Next show.
Yeah. Issue number 4. such a great bit.
What should
That's
I
a
have
great-
for breakfast?
Oh my God.
Special K with banana.
And then when they did the Sinatra group, when Phil
Oh,
Hartman
my
was
gosh.
Frank
Phil
Sinatra.
Hartman is so genius.
my
Oh, he
God.
was so genius.
Missed that guy.
I got a chance to interview him once. There was very little difference between what his persona sort of projected on the air and what he was like in person. But a very, very likable guy. Everybody, he had the previous life too. He used to design album covers. He did.
I didn't know that.
He did. Oh yeah, he did the graphics for a Yes album. He did the graphics for a Crosby,
He
Stills
did?
and Nash album. Yeah, he was an artist. He was a real sort of Renaissance type guy, and just marry the wrong chick, I guess.
Yeah, she was something wrong with her.
Somebody shoots you in the back while you're in bed.
Bad.
Yeah. Well, on that happy note,
well,
so that's
go.
JC's Bring the Sunshine here to the Chris and Amy show.
Let's do this, JC. We're going to talk about Brian McKenna Day.
Yeah,
which
that's why I'm here.
You are here for that. Friend of yours.
People are like, thank God. We didn't know why he was here. We were hoping that it wasn't like 1993 when they brought. Do you know that people wrote 800 letters of disapproval to the general manager of this radio station when I was hired back in 1993? I read all of them. 800. I read all of them, by the way. A lot of them were written on greeting cards and written by. I looked
that's
at the
nice.
names, and the names were like from people. Names had not been assigned to human beings in 100 years. Elmer, and stuff like that.
Oh.
I still remember a woman's name was Biddy Tibbler.
Oh,
Biddy Tibbler.
Come on.
And she,
No, it wasn't.
No, it's
I
not.
swear to
She
God,
made it up.
Somewhere I have a picture of the card, and she was writing, and she ran out of space, so she write on the back of the
Oh, yeah,
card,
I've done
and then
that.
she ran out of space on the back card. Now she's writing up the side
Yeah.
of the card
In a
Just-
very narrow and pinched cursive.
yeah, pinched cursive.
Yeah.
Any alternative band out there?
Yeah.
You need a name?
What was
There
the
it
one you-
is, right there. Pinched cursive.
You
Courtesy
had one earlier.
of Amy Moore.
Eastbound Gawkers.
Okay.
Eastbound Gawkers.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Our traffic guy, Roger Brand, was talking about the Eastbound Gawkers. I'm like, I love those guys.
I've had a name in my head for a long time for an alternative band. So anybody Point Fest out there,
Yeah.
how about this one? Severe tire damage.
That's not bad.
That's
See,
good.
that's great. So
That's
I'm
really
an
good.
idea person. Like for years, I've had two ideas for Mexican restaurants. One would be guac around the clock,
Oh, that's
That's
good.
not
I like
bad.
it.
and then the other one is a Taco Lips Now. Now these are
I like that one.
ideas,
That's good.
folks.
A Taco
Write
Lips.
me a
I'm
check, and you can have it.
JC. I'm on with that one.
I think it should be
Let's go.
moderate to severe tire damage.
I don't think they can get that on the drum,
You think it
on the
would-
bass drums.
By the way,
Too many words.
I'm dealing with moderate to severe acid reflux.
yeah, there's no real person in the world that says, I have moderate to severe psoriasis. Nobody says that.
What's the other one? Common diarrhea. That's a simple diarrhea.
Simple diarrhea.
As opposed to complex diarrhea.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
never simple.
It's never so.
JC Corcoran is with us. We're going to talk about Brian McKenna Day.
I think they can tell.
JC Corcoran on the Chris and Amy Show. Don't forget KMOX.com/Red Cross. Make a donation now.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So, to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
We've got JC Corcoran in studio with us. Brian McKenna Day is coming up May 31st, and JC is you're leading the charge on that.
Well, they've asked me to MC, and I agreed to do that. And I'm just sort of helping with the organization and plugging. You're going to hear me and see me on radio and TV here over the next 10 days. The event is Saturday, the 31st, and they're shutting down Mackland for a couple of blocks over near Devonshire, the old neighborhood. And there's going to be like 7 bands. I'll get into the details on that. For people, a lot of people remember Brian McKenna was on this radio station for a while. He's on a 3 or 4
590 he was on
590 WG 920.
Yeah,
a couple of things. He did a thing on cable called Jock Talk, where he went out and sold his own advertising and had celebrity athletes come on, stuff like that. But here's the thing I want to do just for people. Brian had a wicked sense of humor. Some would say twisted, some would say perverted. The goofier the joke was, the stranger the situation, the harder he laughed. So this is what happened. As you know, when you work at a radio station, you're sitting here, and but there's one telephone line that only comes into the studio. They call it the hotline, and that is, excuse me, if the general manager needs you for some reason, you've said something or done something terrible. But if that line goes off, a little red light goes off too, and you're like, oh. So we were in the middle of the conversation, me, Brian, Karen Kelly, doing the morning show at Clue at that time. And there's the light and there's the phone. And I pushed the button down. Hello? Well, it turned out that the woman who was looking for an apartment had dialed the wrong number. She was like one digit off. But here's the thing. So now I look at Brian and Brian looks at me and Brian would get this gleam in his eye as if to say, no, just keep going with it. Go with it. Here's what happened.
But I just
Do you see yourself living in St. Louis 30 years from now?
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, because of Sam's career in mine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even at 62?
Karen Kelly and the Breakfast Club. It has a nice ring.
Who's this on the Wolfman telephone? Hello?
Is this about the apartment on Kings Highway?
Is this about the what?
Apartment?
Yeah. Yes. It's a 2-bedroom.
Uh-huh.
The shower works fine.
Uh-huh.
And what other questions do you have?
How much is it a month?
$750.
I mean, is that all it includes?
Heat, electric, air conditioning, and don't let the smell bother you. It hasn't bothered the last 2 or 3 people who have lived there. We're not sure it was a skunk. Most people, when they guess, they say skunk.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't bother most people.
Okay.
Now, the guy above you,
Uh-huh.
he was never convicted.
Okay.
And there's only one other problem.
Nick.
My pet dog, Sparky, I can't keep him anymore, and he has to stay in the apartment.
In the apartment that I'm
Yes,
talking
in
about?
fact, I'll tell you what, I'll knock off $100 if you continue to watch Sparky for me.
All right.
You want to think about it, or?
$650.
$650.
You know what? $600. If you watch Sparky, $600.
All right.
When can you move in?
On the 1st of the month.
All right. Now, you sure about Sparky?
I'm fine.
You sure about that? I don't know. Sparky, down boy. Sparky, take it easy. Sparky, down boy.
Is he a mean dog?
Sparky, down boy. Sparky, down boy. No. If you don't make eye contact, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Let me put you on hold. We'll get right back to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The hell is going on?
The lady, she was going to watch that dog. She was going to watch that dog.
Knocking off $100 a clip every time he makes a new deal with her. That was Brian, and he was a friend to all. Everybody loved the guy, except for one guy he had to put in a headlock at Rams Park once because he was mouthing off to him.
Yeah.
But that's
It happens.
It happens. Occupational hazard.
It's among
So
us.
anyhow, Saturday, May 31st, a week from this Saturday, down on Macklin in Devonshire. If you, all you got to do is go on any social media, and there's all sorts of stuff up. If you go to my Facebook page, the Showgram with JC Corcoran, you got stuff there, or just Google Brian McKenna Day. There's, I guess, going to be 7 restaurants, 2 bands, a DJ. Couldn't have a Brian McKenna Day without drinks, so it'd be that too, and all sorts of stuff, and a lot of people. You'll probably see a lot of people that you know because Brian knew everybody and everybody knew Brian, and we're all going to sort of converge down there in South City in 10 days, and I think it's going to be great.
I only met Brian a couple of times. One of them when I was an intern here, and he was the nicest.
Nicest
so
guy in the
so
world.
nice, man.
One of those guys who give you a shirt off his back.
Yeah.
And so, again, everybody's pretty cried out. I have a hunch it's going to start again, though, when we all get together on the 31st. But you know what? I've tried to keep this upbeat because Brian would not want people moping around.
Yeah.
That would be the last thing in the world that he would want.
Right.
So we're trying to keep it upbeat without it sounding, I don't know, disrespectful or something. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. We just hope everybody comes. And a portion of the proceeds are going to go to Brian had a foundation, still does, cancer-related stuff, especially as it relates to kids. And a portion of the proceeds is going to go into that fund. And there's like some other stuff associated with it. So we hope to see everybody on the 31st again from 2 to 7. It's going to be on Macklin, right there in Devonshire. And like I said, go to social media. It's all over the place with more details.
JC Corcoran, it's awesome to see you, man. Thank you for coming in and
watching the
talking to us
clock like
about it.
I'm doing the show.
Yeah,
like,
you know what?
Like I got to back time this.
You want to send it the break? Go ahead, send it the break. It's fine.
I'm trying to remember. All they used to let me do is traffic and weather together back when I did the afternoon show here. I have no ability to do anything.
Neither do we. We're here still.
Yeah.
In good company.
They're scraping the bottom of the barrel, but
it's fine.
here we are.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
For real. And Brian McKenna Day, May 31st.
Yep.
Come out.
2 to 7.
JC Corcoran, host of JC's Wayback Machine on News Talk STL. Thanks for coming in, man.
Ooh, a free plug.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's 104.1 FM
Where do I
KMOX.
Send the check.
It's free.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertising.
Hi, my name is Christina Straight, the owner of Straight Realty, and I'm asking you, what do you want in a realtor? Do you want experience? I've been a broker for over 21 years. Do you want to know how much I've sold? I've sold over $500 million, yes, $1 billion with a B, in sales. Do you want value? I now list properties for only 2%. So, if you're looking for all these things and want the best, then call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
When we started Neovitamin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitamin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitamin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitamin.com.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Years ago, doctors said I'd never be independent after a bad car accident. Well, I proved them wrong. When proving who's the best in garage doors, Renner does it every time. Whether it's service or a new door, you're covered with top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Keep your garage door running strong with Renner's $100 maintenance check. Or get a free replacement quote. Call or click RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
It is 10:01. We've got sunshine, blue skies, and 61 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. So far, at least 160 people have stayed at the 3 American Red Cross shelters set up after Friday's tornado, and that number is growing every day.
At the shelters, individuals can just come in and get food and water, 3 meals a day, snacks, and just recharge their cell phone or whatever they need to do, get some rest. They don't have to stay at the shelter, but they can.
Sharon Watson with the Red Cross says they've been delivering water donated by Anheuser-Busch and handing out tarps. Soon they'll begin doing assessments to gauge current needs and see who may be eligible for financial assistance. KMOX went to one of the Red Cross shelters to speak with some who lost everything.
I mean, hey, whatever, the wind was whistling and blowing like, it was like I never heard no wind like that before.
I didn't know how bad it was until I got out and realized I didn't have anywhere else to go and all my belongings were gone.
The building was destroyed. Every floor, we have 8 floors in our building. Each floor has 22 apartments in it.
KMOX is partnering with the Red Cross. You can donate at KMOX.com. All money raised here stays locally. Both the Missouri History Museum in Forest Park and the Library and Research Center on Skinker remain closed. Both were right in the path of the tornado, and their power is still out. 2 staff members of the Israeli embassy in Washington were shot and killed while leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum. The suspect yelled, "Free Palestine," after he was arrested. The suspect, identified as 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, walked into the museum after the shooting and was detained by event security. President Trump insisted the president of South Africa push back. CBS's Weijia Zhang tells us what happened when Trump hosted Cyril Ramaphosa Wednesday in the Oval Office.
It started as a friendly meeting.
It's a great honor to be with the president of South Africa.
But when South African President Cyril Ramaphosa denied unsubstantiated claims of genocide in his country, President Trump dove into a prepared response.
Turn the lights down.
Armed with unsourced videos and news articles, Trump accused Ramaphosa's government of seizing land and allowing white South African farmers to be persecuted. But data shows there is no evidence of targeted violence against white people.
Ramaphosa telling reporters there is no genocide in South Africa. Yet another major consumer brand increasing prices.
Nike says it's raising prices in the U.S. The athletic footwear and apparel giant did not blame Trump administration tariffs specifically for the move. Almost all of what Nike sells is made in Asia. The company says its shoe prices will increase $5 to $10, while prices on Nike apparel and equipment will go up as much as $10.
Meanwhile, CBS News correspondent Jim Kursula says Adidas is saying they're raising prices because of tariffs. The weather sponsored by the Sandberg Phoenix law firm. We've got sunshine today. It'll be breezy with a high of 72, and tomorrow a high of 70 with clouds increasing throughout the day. We do have some rain in the forecast for the 3-day Memorial weekend, but right now it is just sunny and 61 degrees at 10:04. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers, an important decision, and should not be based solely on advertising.
It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX. Sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Paulie's great, man.
All right, we are going to get to Matt Pauley, but what I do want to do is remind you of the website. Sorry, I forgot we were going to the highlight.
All right.
I do want to remind you of the website for KMOX.com/Red Cross, KMOX.com/Red Cross, and you can donate. It's a link right there. This is all of the money raised through that link is going to stay local. It will go to those affected by the tornado right here in St. Louis. This is a big push. We want to come together as a community. KMOX partnering with Fox 2 and the Red Cross. Again, KMOX.com/Red Cross to donate.
And also the Gas House Gang today will be streaming on Fox 2 STL Plus. In fact, there's a simulcast that's going on there. Fox 2 STL Plus, that is the streaming app. And they're going to have the Gas House Gang today, 12 o'clock to 1, and then Dave Glover show through 4. So from 12 to 4, KMOX here will be streaming on Fox 2 STL Plus. We are joined now by the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, and Cardinals pre- and post-game. Matt Pauley is with us now on KMOX. Matt, so the Cards lose that series to the Tigers. Does that mean the season is over?
Well, first off, I think it's in my contract that I get that full intro, so I don't know if I can actually do this.
Yeah.
That was a miscommunication.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's great, man.
Oh, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Yeah.
There you go.
I said, yeah.
Okay,
that was
we
a
can do this now.
miscommunication.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for didn't want to be in breach of contract or anything.
Amy stepped all over your
I said
intro.
I was going to give the website first, and then we were going to throw to Matt
Also,
Pauley.
it's Matt's fault. Matt Pajeski's fault.
Somebody named Matt's in trouble.
Paulie, probably. Yeah, season's over. They lost 2 of 3 to the team with the best record in baseball. Yeah, go ahead and those that money that you were setting aside for playoff tickets, go ahead and spend it on something else.
Like what?
Whoa.
How about the Red Cross? How about
Yes, there you go.
KMOX.com/Red
There you go.
Cross?
Yeah.
Make your donation now to help the tornado recovery effort.
We are trying to drive up
100%.
drive up those numbers. I think let's just come together as a community. Let's show up for St. Louis.
So,
like, in all seriousness, I know we're talking sports here.
Yeah.
Horrible, tragic thing that happened, but my goodness, as a community, are we good coming together when we need to come together? And it has been it's been heartening just to see the way the community's reacted. The fact that the day after it comes through, just all the random people showing up to help clean up. It's we've looked good. We've looked good in the response to this. So good for that. I don't know if that makes sense of what I'm saying, but it's
no, it does.
It's just been a good thing.
Yeah, I've been impressed with people too. There's so many people who are desperate to just find a way to help.
Yeah.
They want to do something, whether it's donating supplies or volunteering labor, just being there. They want to help out. And I agree with you, Matt. It's impressive that we've done it the way we've done it here. And now it's about keeping it going, because things like this, even though it's in your own backyard, they can tend to fade away a little bit. We can't allow that to happen.
No, and I think that's why what we're doing today, along with everybody else, like, this isn't a pat ourselves on the back thing, but it's an important thing to do, because we are now a few days out of it. And like even in my neighborhood, we had trees come out and things like that. No like major damage. There were some cars that were smushed by big trees falling down, but that was kind of the extent of the damage. Nobody lost their home or anything. But yesterday the city was out and they were taking all these big trees that had fallen, and they were putting them in the shredder and everything, and all of a sudden you drive down the street and it starts to look a little bit normal. Hey, there used to be a tree there, but you don't really remember that. So some of the signs in some of the places, it's not quite as obvious of what went on. And obviously in places like the North St. Louis and Forest Park area, Central West End, it's a lot more obvious that's what's going on. But for the entire community, it's good to just remember what happened to us as a larger St. Louis community just about a week ago or so.
So, Matt, to baseball, the Cardinals do have the day off today. They will have the Diamondbacks in town tomorrow. That's also another good team. They're an over 500 club. I don't know. We were talking about this, and I can't remember if you were part of the conversation or not. We've had it multiple times over the last week. Playing teams like the Tigers, you play the Diamondbacks, you play against the Phillies and do pretty well there. I like to see where the Cardinals are up against teams like that. I'd like to, just have an idea of how they stack up against those teams. Do you feel like we got any sort of sense of where they are in relation to a team like the Tigers just in a 3-game series?
I think not so much the Tigers, but I think to the larger point of what you said, they've played a good number of good teams here recently. And I think that we've seen that they can stack up against them. The fact that they can take a series from the Phillies, the fact that they can take a series from the Mets, things like that. So the totality of the results of the good teams that they've played, I do think that says something about this team. You guys talked with Ollie about this on Tuesday on the Gas House Gang, and basically asked him, hey, do these games against good teams mean a little bit more? And there's a lot of managers out there who are going to kind of give you the cliched answer, the coach speak answer. Oh, every game's worth the same. Every game's one of 162. Ollie kind of said, yeah, you know what? These games do mean a little bit more for no other reason. It helps us to know where we stack up against these better teams. And I appreciated his answer that he said it that way. So it's a bummer that they could have easily taken 2 out of 3 from Detroit. That second game is the game that you really look back on and say, there were some opportunities to win that one. And if you would have done that, you would have beat Skubal and you would have won the series. So it's a bummer that didn't happen. But all in all, I thought they played. They didn't play all that well yesterday, but they played pretty well in 2 of the 3 games and could have won that series against the Tigers.
To this point, the Cardinals against teams that are 500 or above at this point, like right now, they are 15-13. There are only 5 other teams in baseball that have a better record against good teams, winning teams, teams that are at that mark. So, I mean, that in itself, that's good. The fact that they are playing well against good teams.
Yeah, look, I think this next series it's not an end-all be-all series. The season doesn't end if they lose 2 out of 3 to Arizona, but you've got kind of the good vibes going. You've got a lot of good stuff happening. If you can go take 2 out of 3 from Arizona, then you end up with a 500 homestand. You'd like it to be a little bit better, but it's not an end of the world sort of thing. So I think this is a big 3 games coming up for this team.
Yeah, and Matt, obviously the Cardinals, you want to turn it around. You want to start winning series again, but this is the first series the Cardinals have lost in a month.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's been a really good run. Look, they're probably not going to win 13 of 15 or whatever it was again this year. But can they consistently win more than they lose? Can they go win, most of their series from here on out? And if they do that, we're talking about a team that's probably in the high 80s of wins. Maybe even they get to 90, which seems kind of crazy to think about, but there's a possibility if they can win most of their series. I think that's kind of the path that they're on. Right now, they're on the trajectory for like an 88-win season. So the big thing for this team is to make sure that they don't fall off. When in a 162-game season, you're going to have some lulls, but you make the cold streaks as short as possible. You make the hot streaks as long as possible. And if you do that, you're in a pretty good spot at the end of the year.
So Diamondbacks come to town tomorrow. And as I mentioned, that is another good team. The guy they're going to face, Zach Gallen, who was once in their system, Miles Mikolas getting the start. And, we've sort of done that thing before, Matt, where we've talked about how they have not, historically, the Cardinals were pretty good about not trading away players who have come back to hurt them. And while Gallen hasn't had a particularly good year this year, he has been a decent pitcher. Is that somebody you think that they miss or not because they are pitching well?
They should miss him. He's been really good. 2022, 2.5 ERA, 2023, 3.5 ERA, 2024, 3.6 ERA. I mean, yeah, it's
a little rough this year for him, but
Yeah, well, he's got a +5 ERA this year, but I mean, 3 straight years of having the ERA at 3.65 or below. That's a really good run. So yeah, I think anytime, and the way you win in Major League Baseball is by having cost-controlled pitching, and the fact that they did move on from a guy who turned into a pretty solid guy, I think they should have missed him. Now it's not an end of the world sort of thing. I don't think they're saying, "Oh man, look at the 2025 Cardinals rotation. If we just had Zach Gallen, everything would be different." But I'm sure internally, when they look at some of the moves that they've made and some of the guys that they've moved on from, yeah, Zach Gallen probably is somebody that they would have loved to have had the organization if they could have gotten those results. There's no guarantee of that happening. People always have this assumption that a guy gets traded and has results somewhere else, that they would have had those exact same results with the team they came from. That's not always the case. Sometimes a guy meets a minor league coach that clicks in for him, or the way they develop players or the way they have a philosophy really goes into them. So I don't think we can 100% assume that Zach Gallen would have been the exact same guy with the Cardinals that he's been over the last few years with the Diamondbacks, but I think there can be a little bit of lament that Zach Gallen did what he did or has done what he's done with the Diamondbacks and not the Cardinals.
All right, Matt Pauley, I know you've got stuff to do today. You got a busy night tonight. You got the Redbird Rush Hour and Sports Open Line, and we will be looking forward to that.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt Pauley. Off today. Cardinals are off today.
They are.
So don't be going to Busch Stadium, trying to do whatever because there's no game. But you can go tomorrow. And it'll be a nice night, too, from what I understand. Then the rain's coming over the weekend, right? Isn't it going to rain like Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, Dave Murray said that's what happens. Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th. It always rains. So it is supposed to rain this weekend.
It's just not very nice.
It's not. Speaking of not very nice, we do need to hear from you again. So here's the goal. We've shifted a bit. If we raise $100,000.
Oh, yeah, we are moving the goalpost on you. Sorry about this.
Because we just planted them. It was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 5-minute
Well, first of all, I think we reserve the right to move goalposts if we want.
100%.
Yeah.
So if we raise $100,000 for those affected by the tornado, and we have 2 weeks, we have until June 6th, and you guys are incredible. KMOX.com/Red Cross. This is a joint effort with KMOX and Fox 2 partnering with the Red Cross to make sure all of that money stays right here in St. Louis. That's right. All of the money donated will stay right here in St. Louis to affect those are to help those affected by the tornado. So we want to hit $100,000 in 2 weeks. And if we do, we had an idea that might be a good idea or an offensive idea, and we're not sure. And that is, if we hit that mark of $100,000, Chris Ranji will go to the White Sox-Cardinals game in Chicago dressed as the Pope, because a lot of Popes are showing up to the rate, which is their field, guaranteed rate field, as the Pope, because the Pope is from the South Side. We would partner with 670 The Score in Chicago, try to get the Chicagoans to donate to St. Louis. We could raise so much money for those affected here by the tornadoes in St. Louis. We can bring Chicago into it because Ranj is a huge deal in Chicago. Deal. They would love to see him in people garb, but not as a joke. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, so here's the thing.
That's the question.
We have to determine whether or not the Catholics would be mad at me.
Well, no.
Because it feels like appropriation.
But you're not making fun of the Pope. You're highlighting that the Pope is a Sox fan.
Yeah, I get it.
The Pope probably knows who you are.
There's a very good chance of that.
But you guys, wouldn't that be the greatest thing? That we can get Chicago involved. We're going to raise $100,000 in 2 weeks. All of that money is going to stay right here in St. Louis to help those affected by the tornado. And Chris Ranji,
maybe
in all the regalia,
possibly
of the Pope.
I mean, the most important thing is that you give us money to the Red Cross for the relief effort. That's all that matters here. But I have to make sure I don't make the Catholics mad. We also want you to do this. Go to your smart TV and look up Fox 2 STL Plus. Find that app and
tell us how you did it.
Go to your smart TV, look for the Fox 2 STL Plus app.
Yep.
From today, from 12 to 4, they will be streaming us. They're going to stream the Gas House Gang.
Wow.
They're going to stream Dave Glover starting at 1 o'clock. So you should be watching Fox 2 STL Plus in the App Store. Do that on your smart TV.
And let us know. Call or text. We need to know if this is okay.
Yeah, if you're a Catholic, let us know if it's okay if I do this.
Well, we have a lot of Catholics listening. I know that. And that's why we don't want to be disrespectful. We're trying to do it as excitement that the Pope is from the South Side.
Do you think Major Garrett is Catholic? We're going to talk to him at 10:30. Maybe we'll ask him. Okay. It's the Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All day today, 104.1 FM KMOX and Fox 2 are joining forces to support the local chapter of the Red Cross for a mega blitz to help those affected by Friday's St. Louis tornado. To find out how you can help, stay with KMOX all day or use the Fox 2 STL app.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing.
I really need funding to expand my inventory.
Swish Funding can help you expand inventory, upgrade equipment, and boost your cash flow.
Well, okay, but I need funding fast.
Swish Funding provides funding from $25,000 to $2 million with payment terms tailored to your needs and cash in your account in less than 24 hours.
So what's the catch?
No catch. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you could qualify. Just go to swishfunding.com to apply. That's swishfunding.com.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
secret. While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Steve All of the All Financial Group doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. He'll develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Steve today at 636-230-8824 for your personal portfolio x-ray. Call 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
This Memorial Day weekend, bring your crew to Busch Stadium to see the Cardinals take on the D-backs. May 23rd to the 25th, catch great promotions all weekend long, including a Mason Win bobblehead and a Kid City Connect jersey giveaway. Kick off your summer with ballpark hot dogs, ice-cold beers, and entertainment for the whole family. Tickets are available at Cardinals.com. This is how summer is meant to be. See you at the ballpark.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals, for the Lou.
Hey parents, looking for something fun and unforgettable to do with the kids? Bring the whole family to a Cardinals game at Busch Stadium. From kid-friendly activities and giveaways to awesome promotions like Kids Run the Bases. Your little ones will have a blast, and so will you. Check out Family Sundays, presented by Smithfield, where select tickets include a free jumbo hot dog and soda. There's nothing like sharing the magic of Cardinals baseball together. Make your memories this summer at Busch Stadium. Tickets are available at Cardinals.com.
You asked, we delivered. KMOX, now on FM. Crystal clear sound at 104.1 FM.
All right, we want to continue to hear from you throughout the day, but even more than hearing from you, we need you to donate KMOX.com/Red Cross. It is so easy. You click to donate right there, KMOX.com/Red Cross. All of that money is going straight to those in St. Louis who've been affected by the tornado. It's all local, and we want to show up for the city.
The city, the region has been showing up for the victims of the tornado, and will continue to do so, I hope. And that's the goal here, is that we keep the pressure on, that we keep helping, keep donating, keep volunteering, whatever it is. So please, KMOX.com/Red Cross. And we have asked you the question because we're trying to raise $100,000.
$100,000 by June 6th, so 2 weeks. But this is the big first day push.
So, Bill, we've asked this question. Is it okay for me, a non-Catholic, to go to the Cardinals-White Sox game in Chicago dressed as the Pope?
And we would bring the Chicago stations in on it, so we would raise even more money.
So if we get to that $100,000 mark, that's what we are thinking of doing here. Yeah. And I just want to know if it's okay. You know, Bill, who is watching on YouTube, says, I'm Catholic, and I think it's a cool thing to do. The world is too rigid not to have a little fun while helping a good cause. So that's Bill's thought.
Yeah.
But then this text message says, this Catholic would be offended by the Pope impersonation. Great idea to raise $100,000, just not okay to impersonate the Pope at a Sox game.
But a lot of people are already. This is not our original idea in the sense of dressing up as the Pope. People on the South Side are so excited that Pope Leo is a White Sox fan, that he's from Chicago, that there were 6 popes in the bleachers the other day. There were 6 popes. And to me, it's like, it's an honorific. They're so excited. And that's what we would be going for. But we also don't want to be
I'm trying not to hurt anybody's feelings. This message, I'm a Catholic. I think it's a bad idea. I believe it would be misconstrued. But I don't know.
What if you dressed? What about this? What if you didn't? Hold on.
What?
What does a cardinal outfit look like?
It's red, isn't it?
Yeah. Could you go as a cardinal?
I don't know.
Because he was a cardinal before he was a pope. Is it less offensive to go as a Cardinal because Ron is, the St. Louis Cardinals? Get it? I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
I do think you lose something without the hat because it's so distinct.
The hat is something. It really is a good hat.
This is honest. If you're Catholic and you've seen, like, if you saw the 6 popes in the bleachers at the White Sox game a few days ago, was that offensive to you? Because they do have a mural of the Pope now at
They're
the
honoring
rate.
him.
Yeah.
The Sox are really milking that, by the way.
What
I guess
else
I would
have
be
they got?
too.
It's all they have.
I guess I would be too. The Holy Father
You
is a
would be.
fan of the
We
team.
are. That's what we're doing right now.
KMOX.com/Red Cross to donate. Again, all the money that is donated there will stay in St. Louis to help with the tornado recovery effort. Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, will join us next. What's going to happen with a big, beautiful bill? It's going to head to the Senate, I guess. We'll see where it goes from there. Major's next on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Bernie Miklasz here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking care of generations of St. Louisans since 1927. The Miklasz family has relied on Saliga for about 17 years, and we well know that Saliga sets the standard for honesty, knowledge, professionalism, and prompt service. In our experience, Saliga has always looked for low-cost solutions to save us money. And Saliga can service all makes and models and can handle your heating and cooling needs for home or business. I recommend Saliga's Priority Club. It's a maintenance program that'll save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. You'll receive priority scheduling and have the comfort of knowing your home is safe and ready for all seasons. Family owned and operated for nearly 100 years, Saliga offers free estimates and financing options and still has the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. To find out more, call Saliga at 314-481-7883 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
I'm Tom Ackerman with this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. We are joined by Dr. Albert Kim.
We're using not only molecules, but also machines to confront brain tumors. We have things like laser, which sounds a little science fiction, but lasers can be used to kill tumors. And we can use non-invasive surgeries. It's called focused ultrasound.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims. And in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It is a beautiful day out there, 61 degrees and mostly sunny. It's going to stay that way throughout the day, a high of 70. Tomorrow, some clouds will roll in, a high of 72.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
Metro Transit. We don't just help ourselves and our neighbors get where we need to be. We help our whole region get where we want to be. Get on board at rideonmetro.org.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
You ask a lot of your liver, so give it the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NORDICUSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals. 104.1 FM, KMOX. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
We got some breaking news in the middle of the show yesterday here with Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji, and it was about Major Garrett, who is the chief Washington correspondent for CBS.
It wasn't just about Major Garrett. It was from Major Garrett.
And from him. He broke the news to you. I didn't get no text message. CBS chief Washington
I was able
correspondent.
to hold it over his head, Major. I was like, Major texted me. Did you see that? He texted me.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah.
Well, I believe Amy has, uniquely of the tandem I'm speaking to, provided me her number.
You have mine?
Don't be friends with him too, Major. This is all I have.
Here, real quick, let me read your number out loud. Tell me if this is right.
Yeah, start with 888. Yes.
Okay, so the big news is the takeout.
Well, yes. Look, and we've been playing around with this big news. It's not that big news. It's what I've been sort of hinting for months now. I wish it had come sooner, but we got to redesign a studio. We got to create a kind of infrastructure. So the show that I had for 8 years, The Takeout, which ended in January. When it ended, I promised everyone, because I knew back then this day would come. I just didn't know it would take 5 months, that it would come back. And now it comes back on Tuesday of next week after Memorial Day weekend. We launched The Takeout 5 nights a week on CBS News 24/7, our streaming news service. It will be an hour-long show, mostly about politics, of course, lots of headlines, but also in keeping with what The Takeout always was, a place of relentless curiosity and steadfastly non-ideological. All comers are welcome, and we will explore not just politics, but culture, sports, finance, things that interest me, things that interest my team. And we want the show to be defined not by how many people come on the show to argue, because I'm not inviting anyone to come on my show to argue. I'm inviting people to come on my show to explain things, to teach me and to teach the audience, and to pull back the curtain on things that perhaps Washington in the sort of here they come, there they go coverage, meaning every turn of the screw and everyone walking down a hallway uttering something that's basically forgettable 30 minutes later. We're not going to do that. We're trying to have contextual, interesting, curious conversations in addition to the political news. And like a true podcast, if we do an interview that runs long, 40 minutes or so, we'll run 10 or 20 minutes on the TV show because it still has to live within the confines of a TV show. But all the rest of it, just like we did on The Takeout, we'll run on the podcast platform, run on our YouTube page, so everyone can see all of our work all the time.
Well, we're glad to finally have some resolution on this because people keep asking, and I have to keep saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I can
ask Major.
Of them, yes.
And I can see from the press picture that your couch, your red couch, did come in, and I'm very.
Well,
we do have, as people will see, 2 very beat up red chairs that we found in an alley somewhere here in DC.
Hey, it's the Merv
That's
Griffin
exactly
set.
the kind of chair. No new furniture. No, all the furniture in this set is very beat up and weathered, and like you would find at the back of your neighborhood bar, which is the feel that I want the show to have.
Awesome.
That's great.
Because it does. If you look at the set, as I'm sure you did, it doesn't look like a normal TV set at all because it isn't.
Well, I didn't see it because I didn't get the text, but not a big deal. I'm not mad.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm thrilled.
Major. Hey, you want to tell us about this big, beautiful bill and what's going to happen now that the House is into it, but the Senate probably it's going to be a little tougher road there.
Yeah, so I'm really amazed that House Republicans, that's what they called it. So if you're going to refer to this legislation, you have to call it by its legislative name. And its legislative name is the Big Beautiful Bill. I mean, they've taken political branding to an ultimate level now. This is the highest or lowest form, depending on your perspective, of political branding. And this does many, many things. It continues the 2017 Trump tax cuts. It adds some new ones. For certain income categories, there'll be no taxes on tipped income, with certain very specific descriptions of what tipped income actually is. So it is meant to help those who actually work for tip income, not people saying, well, I'm a hedge fund manager. Suddenly I'm being paid in tips, so now I don't have to pay any taxes. No, you can't do that. No tax on overtime income. So that's also for those who work longer hours, that income not subject to taxation. Those are costly, but they're ways that this bill is meant to help those in the working class. There are substantial benefits for those who are wealthy Americans. And the initial analysis of this bill is those who are on food assistance, those who are on Medicaid will suffer some, and those who are at the higher end of the income scale will benefit, continuing a long-running trend of about 30 or 40 years of American tax policy where, because you're already wealthy, the gains you have are the gains you keep, and the tax bill will help you get wealthier. And if you're poor or middle class, there are some benefits for you. There certainly are, but proportionally, they don't compare with the benefits to those who are already wealthy. The Senate will look at this. It will change some things. This morning, the Senate Republican leader, John Thune, said it is a goal, an aspiration to pass this by July 4th. That's not a hard and fast deadline. What I would say is this bill is likely to pass the Senate and reach the president's desk no later than end of July, early August.
Major, so much of the political talking points from Donald Trump and his supporters is that Joe Biden was disastrous and the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 was disastrous, and they're going to be so different. And when you look at this bill, it's not really that different. It's not a full repeal of the Inflation Reduction Act. It does include some bailouts for like California, New York, and New Jersey. There's some similarities, are there not?
Well, it does take a pretty significant axe to green energy incentives, tax credits, and subsidies that were in the Inflation Reduction Act. Not all of them, but a good number of them, and it accelerates their expiration. So if there are things in there that are related to encouraging, subsidizing, or providing tax credits for green energy, they're almost all eradicated in this bill. Whether that survives the Senate, we don't know. Why is that a question? Well, it's a question as a matter of politics and policy, because some of those tax incentives and credits have spurned the development of green energy, renewable energy in red states. And some red states, Texas is chief among them, but not alone, have found that there are benefits of encouraging renewable energy as an alternative, not replacement, but alternative energy source. And so some Republicans are like, no, these things actually work where I live and where my state benefits from this, and we'd like to keep them. That's going to be part of the Senate conversation. But when it comes to funds for the border, building the border wall, doing things with missile defense, which the Biden administration thought was technologically interesting, but not really sure it was worthy of an investment. This bill has $25 billion for the so-called Golden Dome. That would be a nationwide missile defense system along the lines of what Israel has. What Israel has is a much smaller territory, much less sophisticated missiles and rockets that try to penetrate its airspace, much easier to defend, not easy, but easier than all the continental United States. But that's in the bill. So there's a lot of things in there. And the president and his economic advisors keep saying this bill will generate substantial economic growth. Economists, and most importantly, bond traders, are yet to be convinced. The bond traders, and it's been said many times and it's worth repeating, people who buy stocks are optimists. People who buy bonds are realists. If you buy a stock, you're betting on the future of a company. You see some numbers, you think there's an opportunity. You're an optimist. If you're a bond trader or bond purchaser, you look at the hard underlying reality about what you're going to get in a couple of years for the investments you've made. It's a safer investment, less upside, but much less downside. And when there's downside risk, you begin to sell off. So bond traders look at all this and say, no, whatever economic growth will not offset the implications for future deficits and larger national debt. Larger national debt means higher interest payments, which means higher interest rates, all of which make them nervous. And right now, the consensus among those who are realists in the bond market is this is going to add to our deficit problem, not reduce it. That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, the CBO says that this it's something like 3.8 trillion, I think was the number, that it will increase the deficit. And also Republicans have been saying that they're not going to touch Medicaid, but it looks like there's something like 700 billion in cuts to that program. So how's that going to go over politically?
Much larger than that. Much larger than that. The Medicaid changes are real. Republicans will argue that they are they're primarily about work requirements and some reimbursement rates to certain states to make Medicaid more responsive to the needs of those who were originally qualified for Medicaid. Single mothers, the disabled, the elderly, fixed income, and the like. This able-bodied person requirement of either having a job, seeking a job, volunteering, or obtaining job training in order to qualify, essentially a paperwork requirement. You've got to prove you're doing those things in order to maintain your eligibility. There are some cost savings that you can achieve in Medicaid that way. But a lot of people I've talked to who don't have a political dog in this fight say, look, most of the people who are on Medicaid who are quote unquote able-bodied and are still receiving Medicaid benefits are not actually able-bodied. They have other reasons why, medical and otherwise, where they can't work or can't hold down a job. So you're not going to achieve the savings that you think you are. You're just going to ask a lot more people to fill out a lot more paperwork, and they're probably going to qualify anyway. Whether or not that's true, this is something the Republicans have emphasized. They've passed it. It's in the bill in the House. Interestingly, in Missouri, Senator Josh Hawley is not sold on this theory. And he said these Medicaid reductions are real. They're biting. They will change people's lives detrimentally, and he's not sold on them politically. So keep an eye on Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, because he's basically laid down a marker and wants to be judged by this, that he will not vote for and not support things that materially reduce the ability of Medicaid to serve Missourians and those who qualify in other states.
He wrote an op-ed in the New York Times about that a couple of weeks ago. So he's hopefully he's steadfast in that.
Major, a tragic situation here. 2 Israeli embassy staff members were murdered in a shooting in Washington, D.C. Overnight. What do we know about the shooter? And the victims and you know who they were.
So we know the shooter essentially turned himself in right after committing this double murder in public view. Walked in, said, I dispensed the gun over here. I'm responsible. Take me into custody. Words to that effect. And he was taken into custody. He's from Chicago. Elia Rodriguez, I believe, is his full name. He screamed, witnesses saw this, free Palestine, before committing this double murder. And there will be a prosecution, a swift prosecution. The 2 victims were attending an event at the D.C. Jewish Museum, not the Holocaust Museum. It is a museum devoted to celebrating the long history of Jewish life in Washington, D.C. There's an event there. Couple preparing to be engaged, and they were slain after this event in what is now being characterized as a racially motivated hate crime. And it will be prosecuted quite obviously, as it should be, to the fullest extent of the law. And there's now evidence on social media that the shooter had issued a bunch of statements about Israel and Gaza, the suffering of Palestinians there, the numbers, the famine, the difficulty obtaining humanitarian aid, a long set of grievances. This is no rational or legal response to those grievances, quite obviously, but he carried out this heinous criminal act. This is only marginally interesting, but it's interesting to me. I was at another event about 2 blocks away, exiting my event about the same time this murder happened. So I was a couple of blocks away. I heard the police activity. I did not hear any of the event itself, but it just reminded me in Washington, D.C., in this very charged political climate, it's a worrisome time.
Major Garrett, as always, we do appreciate talking with you. Thank you for being with us today. And we're excited about the takeout. We're glad to have it back in a different form.
And I'm so very glad to bring it back. Thanks so much.
Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News and the takeout on CBS News 24/7. Amy Marxkors and Chris Ranji, we are looking to raise $100K. So we need help, and you are there to do it for us. Help us. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Make your donation. This is a joint effort with Fox 2 and the Red Cross and KMOX. And we're at, 33,000 right now? KMOX.com/Red Cross.
We need you to donate now because we would love for the donations to be higher during our show than the Glover show.
Oh, yeah.
So donate now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just so that we look.
We just want
better.
we want to make a push. Like that's raise some funds, community, come together, make it a competition. Let's step up for St. Louis.
That's Amy Marxkors. I'm Chris Ranji, 104.1 FM KMOX.
For 57 years, Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been one of St. Louis's top names in home improvement because of their commitment to put quality and professionalism first in everything they do. This is Debbie Monterey, and I can tell you from personal experience that they will give you the best and longest lasting outdoor products available with skilled installation teams who carry out their mission to be the very best in customer service and quality craftsmanship. Whether you're looking for fences, decks, sunrooms, screen room, patio, retaining wall, or more, Chesterfield Fence and Deck is a company that you can trust with your home. If you mention me, Debbie Monterey, they'll also offer you 48 months interest-free financing, which should go a long way. Go ahead and do your homework and call around and get bids, but you will find that you get the best value with Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best. Visit them in the Chesterfield Valley or online now at chesterfieldfence.com. It's Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best.
When disaster strikes, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis is there. Tornadoes have left families displaced and communities in crisis, but you can help. The Urban League Tornado Disaster Relief Humanitarian Fund provides emergency shelter, food, clothing, and critical support to those affected. Your donation brings hope when it's needed most. Visit ulstl.com to donate. That's ulstl.com. Stand with us. Stand for St. Louis.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
We started Neoviten because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neoviten 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals along with our 4-ingredient, physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neoviten 50-plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neoviten.com.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. So, I wanted to write a thank you note for every dollar Missouri Lottery players have given to Missouri and education, but that would be 8.4 billion notes. So to save a little time and a whole lot of paper, here's just one. Dear every single lottery player in Missouri, thank you for helping us give $8.4 billion to Missouri and education. Sorry, my trumpet's in the shop. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Ronch, do you want to just feel horrible?
Well, what, like more than I already do?
Yeah, you deserve to feel more horrible. So today, 15 years ago today, a programmer whose first name is Laszlo. Laszlo spent 10,000 Bitcoin to buy 2 pizzas from Papa John's.
That's right.
If he had not spent that Bitcoin to buy 2 pizzas from Papa John's, his Bitcoin that he used to buy 2 pizzas from Papa John's would now be worth over $1 billion.
Does he have any Bitcoin left?
No.
What a dummy.
He
deserves to not have $1 billion.
He had 10,000 Bitcoin in 2010. He was a programmer, and he used it to buy Papa John's pizza. If he had just held on to it, it would be worth over $1 billion. Wow. How do you live with yourself? I would lose my mind.
Is that worse than the guy who, I forgot how many billions he has in Bitcoin, and he threw the thumb drive away? And he's trying to buy an entire landfill so that he can go through it bit by bit, where he thinks this thumb drive has been disposed.
Oh, I spent $118 on a sweater, a really, really nice sweater, because I said, Amy, it's time to grow up. It's time to be professional. Buy this really nice sweater and wear it to work. This is your work sweater. And I hate it. I look terrible in it. I don't ever wear it. And do you know the grief and pain that sweater gives me, knowing that in my carelessness, somehow I was misled by this sweater and I invested in it and it was a waste of $118. I literally can't sleep at night sometimes thinking about this sweater. Yeah. Can you imagine if you had $1 billion?
Yeah, if I were this Bitcoin guy, if I were the guy who threw away the thumb drive, or the other one who forgot his password, which he has like one try left, and he's locked out forever.
Yeah.
And there's, I don't know how many billions of dollars on that. If I were those people, I would never find peace ever.
No.
I would never. There's no amount of therapy or religion or anything that would help me find peace.
I think the only thing you could do is if you became like a Tibetan monk where you had to eschew the world.
Wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. I would be up in those mountains going, damn it. I lost billions.
$1 billion. Oh my gosh. But
hey,
what about nope, never mind. I can't.
Amy, do you have any cows? Well, if you do have cows, you better be careful, and you better keep a better eye on them because a Florida man shot his neighbor's cow 5 times. The poor cow had to be cut down or put down. Cut down like he's a tree. Poor cow to be put down. This happened in Fort Myers, Florida.
I'm surprised
a couple of weeks ago.
Didn't put him down.
The neighbor, 54-year-old Hung Treen, has been angry apparently about this person's livestock jumping the fence, and so he threatened to shoot the animals next time it happened. And he murdered this cow.
Well, does he go to jail for animal cruelty?
Well, of course.
That's terrible.
Of course. You can't just shoot somebody else's cow.
So when on his tax form it says, do you have livestock? He would say, I did have livestock.
I did have.
That's sad.
I forgot that you could put that on your tax.
That's the only question I know how to answer. No.
I nailed that one, didn't I?
I wouldn't know how to answer this if I had a cow and then the cow died. Do you have livestock? Well, I don't know. I did, but I don't now. I had livestock for half the year.
Such a sad story.
Oh, that's awful.
KMOX.com/Red Cross. We want you to go there and make that donation. We are looking to get $100,000. But more than that, it's a joint effort with Fox 2 and the Red Cross and KMOX, and we would be so appreciative if you can do
if
that.
we get $100,000, Ron will either go to the game dressed as the Pope or he won't. We can't tell which one's the bigger
we haven't decided yet. Somebody has thrown a real wrench into this idea, and we'll bring that to you a little bit later. When we come back, the executive director here in St. Louis for the Red Cross, Lucretia Cox, joins the show. We will talk to Lucretia about the effort that is ongoing right now. That's next on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Your garage door is the largest piece of moving equipment in your home. When it needs help, call the experts at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Their certified technicians repair all brands of doors and openers, and you can even schedule evening and weekend service. Just call 314-781-5200 and always look for the red ribbon. It's your assurance you've got the genuine, the original Overhead Door, the most trusted garage door company in St. Louis since 1926. For same-day service, schedule online at overheaddoorstlouis.com. 314-781-5200.
Business of Family Business, we'll meet Walter Knoll of Walter Knoll Florists. That would be Walter Knoll III. His family's been in the floral business since at least the 1880s in Germany. He's fifth generation. Is there a sixth? Find out the answer to that, about trends in the industry and how this family business is planning for the future. I'm Debbie Monterey. The Business of Family Business is sponsored by Clayton Capital Partners, and you'll hear it here Saturday only on KMOX.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It is 11 o'clock. We've got sunshine, blue skies, 63 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. At least 160 people have stayed in the Red Cross shelter since Friday, and the organization Sharon Watson says that number is growing every day. People don't have to stay overnight, but can get hot meals, snacks, water, charge their cell phones, or just rest. They're also distributing water and tarps.
And then we're working to start doing damage assessments around the community to see what else what is needed in those communities and in those homes that have been damaged, and find out who is eligible for some financial assistance from the Red Cross.
Watson encourages people to call 800 Red Cross if they're in need of services or an assessment. People can donate money to the effort or volunteer. She says 90% of their boots on the ground are volunteers. If you're looking to help, KMOX partnering with Fox 2 and the Red Cross, you can just go to KMOX.com and click on the Red Cross banner. Any amount helps. One of the victims in Wednesday's murders outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. was a native Missourian. St. Louis Kaplan Feldman Museum officials say Sarah Milgram grew up in the Kansas City area. They say her death and that of her partner, Yaron Lashinsky, is not just a national loss, it is a local one as well. A statement from the museum condemns the murders as an act of hatred and political violence. Officials say, like many Jewish institutions across the U.S., the museum operates with heightened security as a daily reality. The suspect, identified as 31-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago. Authorities say he walked into the museum after the shootings and was detained by security guards. The Supreme Court has ruled against allowing Oklahoma's first religious public charter school. Here's Brad Gibson in Tulsa.
In a 4-4 split, the court blocked the ability of taxpayers funding a religious charter school that would teach a curriculum based on Catholic doctrine. The tie vote was the result of Justice Amy Coney Barrett's recusal from the case. Barrett gave no explanation when she disqualified herself in January, but many believe it was her connection with a key advisor to the Catholic school at the center of the case. The case threatened to upend U.S. charter school systems, affecting laws in as many as 46 states. Brad Gibson for CBS News, Tulsa.
They're believed to be multiple fatalities in the crash of a plane into a military housing section of San Diego. Captain Robert Healy is commander of the Naval Base San Diego, in charge of that housing complex.
Certainly, we have a lot of military families that are impacted. I want to send our condolences and thoughts and prayers to all of those impacted by this.
Say goodbye to the penny. The U.S. Mint has made its final order of penny blanks and plans to stop producing the coin when those run out. An immediate annual savings of $56 million in reduced material costs is expected by stopping penny production.
It'll be breezy this afternoon with sunshine and a few fair weather clouds, the high 70. Tonight will turn out mainly clear and cool, low 50. Sunshine will fade beyond increasing clouds tomorrow, high 72. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
It's sunny 63 degrees at 10:03. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. The beginning of a new season is a perfect time for a tune-up from my friends at Renner Garage Door. Need a new door? Get a free replacement quote today. RennerDoorSTL.com, forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER. Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. It's the Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium. Explore the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station.
Right now, we are taking donations in conjunction with Fox 2 and the Red Cross. If you go to KMOX.com/Red Cross, after the tornado came through our area on Friday, there's a lot that needs to happen in order to help people recover. So KMOX.com/Red Cross, you can make your donation there. Also, we want to let you know that if you go to your smart TV and you download Fox 2 STL Plus, that is the Fox 2 app, we're going to be streaming live here on KMOX, or they're going to be streaming us. You can watch us on your TV from 12 o'clock until 4. So it'll be the Gas House Gang and the Dave Glover Show. So again, on your smart TV, the Fox 2 STL Plus app, put it there from the App Store, put it on your TV and watch us.
Yep. And again, help us in this push to raise money for the Red Cross. This is when I call it nice bullying. Bully your friends into donating. Tell them you donated. KMOX.com/Red Cross.
Make them feel bad for not donating.
Absolutely. Like, this is when peer pressure is good.
Guilt
and
is
I'm
great.
not even joking right
it's
now.
Awesome.
I've talked to some people who've been able to make some donations, and they said, and I tell my friends, friends that they can do it. They can make a donation, and every little bit helps. Spread the word.
The Greater St. Louis Executive Director of the Red Cross, Lucretia Cox, is joining us now on 104.1 FM KMOX. Lucretia, thank you for being with us today. How are things going?
Things are going well. In the city, we've spent a lot of time just making sure that the needs are met. Normally, when the Red Cross comes into areas after disaster, sheltering is our first priority. And so those immediate needs, making sure that people have access to 3 meals a day, making sure that, any type of mental health needs, any type of just support that they might need in that time of disaster, we're there for.
Do we know approximately how many St. Louisans are in Red Cross shelters right now?
Sure. We have 159 people in Red Cross shelters right now.
Wow. And people have just lost their
Yeah.
homes. I mean, 1 minute you're just living life. You're just doing normal things, and then your home is gone. And then the Red Cross steps up, because I think when you put yourself in that position, the first question is, oh my gosh, what do I do? Where do I go? I have nowhere to go.
Yes, we actually worked on, transportation with the mayor's office to ensure that people can get to the shelters. A lot of people don't have access to transportation, so we worked with Metro Bus and Bi-State, and every night at 8 p.m. You can get picked up from two locations. There's one on Natural Bridge at the Save-A-Lot, and then there's one right in front of the old library at in Wright and Union, where we're picking up residents.
So we have been, we've been covering the storm since it happened, and all we've heard from public officials, whether it's the mayor or the governor of Missouri or Senator Josh Hawley, whoever it is, they've just been talking about how coordinated everything feels and it's collaborative. Is that the sense you're getting too, that between the city and the state and the community, that there has been really good collaboration here?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of collaboration. Like I said, we're working closely with, the mayor's office, and the mayor's office is communicating with all counterpoints. We, especially at the community level, there's so much collaboration going on, and that's really what makes me excited about the spirit of St. Louis and how we come together as a community in times of crisis. We've been working with other organizations, grassroots organizations, and then other just people in the neighborhoods that have set up tents. Just yesterday, I was with some people on Adelaide, and they were neighbors, just working together to bring food to each other. And so I met with them to see how we can support them, what we can bring to them. And so these funds today, what you're raising today, can help us get the necessary supplies to them.
Yeah, I know it's very practical and probably makes sense when you sit down and think about it, but those supplies, when people donate right now, like again, KMOX.com/Red Cross, when people donate, what is their money purchasing or helping to fund?
Yeah, so there were some people who didn't have tarps for their homes, and so we're providing them with tarps. We received a request for boxes because many of them might have to move. We received a request for food. Any items that we're able to purchase for them that will help them throughout this transition in their life, we are willing to step up to support.
Is there still a need for TARP donation? We know that earlier in the week that STLrecovers.com, that they had places where you could drop off. They were listed there on that website. Is that still a pretty great need?
We're just listening to community and hearing from them. I think, I mentioned before, not a lot of people have access to transportation. So I think there are pockets of people that just don't know where the resources are. And so that's why we're going into the communities. We're canteening, we're canvassing, we're out talking to neighborhoods to make sure needs are met.
KMOX.com/Red Cross. If you would like to make a donation, we would love for you to do that. And again, it's very important, Lucretia, to let people know that all of the money that's being donated here from this link, from this website, in conjunction with the Red Cross, KMOX, and Fox 2, it's all staying local. All of that money is staying here.
Yes, again, this is, a disaster that affected our community. We want to make sure that we support, the Missouri and our region. And we're really just, happy to provide that relief to our neighbors.
And then again, I think it might be important to remind people that this need will go on for a while. It's going to take long time. But it's not like you need a couple days of food or water, but this need is going to take a while.
Yeah, there's still people without power that have not been restored. And so, everyone's working hard, and, Ameren's working hard to ensure that, their power is restored. But there's so much devastation. And, with the damage of the tornado and just the gravity of how wide the tornado was and how long it was, it's going to take some time to rebuild. And so, we're working on, ways and, shelters and continuing to do that, because we know that they're going to be in them for a while. But, we're excited to be able to provide that support to them, that respite to them, and to really just, assign a case manager, especially for our shelters, to kind of help them throughout their process and their journey into having a better life for themselves.
Lucretia, before we say goodbye here, is there anything else that you would like to pass along to the community, whatever it is?
Yes, I am encouraging everyone to call 1-800-RED-CROSS. If you call this number, we will have you in our system, and then we'll be able to respond to you. We do provide financial aid to those that are eligible, and so we want to make sure that you have that. We are right now sending out, well, not right now, and then next, soon we'll be sending out people to survey, doing damage assessments of your property, and we want to make sure that everyone who is eligible to receive financial aid, that they get it into their hands.
Lucretia Cox, the Greater St. Louis Executive Director for the Red Cross, thank you for all the work that you're doing, and thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you.
That is Lucretia Cox with the Red Cross. And again, we want you to donate. That number has gone up quite a bit, and every bit of this money is going to be needed. KMOX.com/Red Cross. We were under 10,000 before the show started, and we are getting close to 38,000 now. So
we're at 39.
Is it 39
39 now?
Let me
yes.
refresh. Yep.
So
it's at 39,000.
Again, this is when I've had so many people reach out to me personally, social media, texts. How can I help? How can I help? Right now, this is the easiest and most immediate way to help.
Yep.
Right now. And there are other ways to help for sure.
Bunch of ways, yeah.
But if you want to help right now, this is the most immediate. You can go to KMOX.com/Red Cross, text your friends, send them the link. It's super easy. Like I said, I'm all about peer pressure.
Guilt.
Guilt. Like call people, say, hey, let's step up. Because again, as we talked about here with Lucretia, all of that money stays right here in St. Louis. And if you love your neighbor, want to help your neighbor, let's help them right now. And like I said, a lot of different ways to help, but this one is one click. It's so easy. And every little bit counts. $5, $2, $5,000, whatever you can give, it helps.
KMOX.com/Red Cross. That is, that's the way to do it. In fact, I should mention this, Amy. I believe the minimum donation online is $10. Okay. So if that's all you can do, $10. Yeah. If all you can do is $10, fine. Whatever it is you can do, that's 10 more than they have right now. So do it. 38,926. That's where we are at the moment. And so a lot of people have contributed. This area is coming out in support of a community that has been devastated. It's great that this is happening. That's Amy Marks-Kors. I'm Chris Ranji, KMOX.com/Red Cross. This is 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All day today, 104.1 FM KMOX and Fox 2 are joining forces to support the local chapter of the Red Cross for a mega blitz to help those affected by Friday's St. Louis tornado. To find out how you can help, stay with KMOX all day or use the Fox 2 STL app.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me, 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health, but you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
Trustum Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trustum Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trustum Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at TrustumWill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's TrustumWill.com, offer code RADIO. Trustum Will is an online estate planning service. Visit TrustumWill.com for details.
Whoopah! The most mouthwatering event of the year is back. Join us this Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd through the 26th for the St. Louis County Greek Fest at Assumption Greek Orthodox Church. Enjoy authentic Greek food, lively music, dancing, and church tours. Credit cards only. Visit STLGreekFest.com for full details.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
KMOX is now on 104.1 FM, the same great station with even better sound.
Amy Marks Coors, Chris Ranji. This is 104.1 FM KMOX, and the website is KMOX.com/Red Cross to donate. We are partnering with Fox 2 and the Red Cross to raise money for the relief effort. So KMOX.com/Red Cross. If you want to do it online, you can. The minimum donation is $10, but you can donate whatever you want to on top of that. Also, somebody did call in, at least one person, asking if they can donate by mail. You can do that if you prefer to do it that way. Just go to the link we've given you, and then when you click to donate, at the very bottom there is an address. And I'm not going to list the address because it's a lot of numbers and it'll be confusing to you. So just go to the website, KMOX.com/Red Cross. It is super easy to do it online. You can even donate by phone too. So however you want to do it, but just make sure you do.
The next person who donates might tip us over the $40,000 mark. We are dollars away.
Yep.
From $40,000. This is absolutely incredible. Again.
Well, actually, we're over now. Click refresh.
Ah.
We're over $40,000 in donations.
You guys are amazing.
That's been pretty much
Amazing.
just today. So great job by everybody. And let's keep it rolling.
Yes. Do we want to throw our question out there again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So here was our idea. Because, we're trying to raise as much money as possible. We thought if we hit $100,000 by June 6th, so 2 weeks, we're well on our way.
We might have to move that up too.
That Ronj, we're probably going to move the goalposts again. So just keep donating.
Sorry.
Ronj would go to the Cardinals-White Sox game in Chicago at Guaranteed Rate Field dressed as the Pope, as so many Southsiders have done. As you know, Chris Ranji was in Chicago for 10 years. He was the White Sox pre-post broadcaster for a long time. He's a huge deal in Chicago.
Huge deal.
So if we bring Chicago in, you think they're going to donate? They might donate.
they might.
We'll partner with 670 The Score. They're another Odyssey station in Chicago. And we'll just drive donations to help those affected by the tornado in St. Louis. Here's the thing. We're not sure if it's offensive.
Right.
We think it might be offensive for Chris Ranji to dress as the Pope. We don't mean it that way. We mean it in the same way. Like a few days ago, there were 6 popes in the bleachers at the rate. And it was really cool to see because everyone's so excited that Pope Leo is a Southsider.
It's cool, man.
It's so cool. So we thought that would be great. Well, some people have pointed out it might be sacrilegious. And so if it is, we thought, what if we hit $100,000, he won't go as the Pope. You got to stop him from doing this.
Yeah, Bill chimed in on YouTube. He's watching us there, and he says, if all those that advise Chris not to dress as the Pope, maybe they should donate so that he doesn't have to.
That's a great.
So, like the people who think I should not do it, donate money, and then I guess I can't.
Right,
I will be barred
we
from doing
flip
it.
The incentive is like, listen, as of right now, he's doing it. He's dressing as the Pope, and he's going to the bleachers. At the White Sox Cardinals game, but if people say no, you shouldn't do that. If we hit $100,000, he won't.
So the Twitter poll is up, right?
No,
it's not up yet?
It's gonna
okay.
Go up.
I think we're going to do that too.
Yeah.
So follow us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX. And the reviews have been mixed, or the responses have been mixed. There are some people who say it's totally fine. There are others say that I should not do it. Colonel Ripper says that I should dress as Bozo the Clown. You know, you're normal. That's not nice.
That's kind of rude.
It's super rude. Bozo the Clown originated out of Chicago too, you know. I used to watch they filmed it at the WGN studios. I used to watch that show, and I used to think that I could dominate the grand prize game.
Yeah.
I would be so
What
good.
did you have to do for Bozo's grand prize game?
Oh, it was the buckets with the ping pong balls.
You to throw
You
ping
don't
pong.
remember?
I've never
Oh.
seen Bozo the Clown.
What?
I'm not 100 years old.
You're in your 40s.
Okay,
So-
you're almost hitting 50. 50.
Hell yeah. Hey, we're going to be hitting 50 on this American Red Cross
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
you know?
That's a
So,
great
yeah,
point.
they had the buckets. They had 6 buckets in front of the contestant.
Okay.
And if you start with the closest bucket, and if you throw the ping pong ball in, you got cookies or something. And then the second one, the next prize would be better. And always the 6th, the farthest away bucket was always a bicycle. If you threw the ping pong ball and it got into that far bucket,
Really?
you got a bicycle.
Wow.
It's pretty cool,
That is
right?
very, very cool.
I would have dominated the grand prize game.
So
hold on.
anyway, 314-436-7900. We need to continue to hear from you because we don't know what to do, you guys. We are really, because here's the thing. I think it would be so great to wrangle 670 The Score into this because the more ears, the more eyeballs,
the more money.
the more money.
For the Red Cross.
And that's what this is all about. We want as much attention as possible to get as much money as possible for those affected by the tornado.
Yep. So KMOX.com/Red Cross. This text message says, I'll donate $25 if Ranji admits to having a secret wife and kids in Chicago.
Oh my gosh, that's
Okay,
a great.
so here-
wow, we could think of a lot of
Let me-
incentives. Oh my gosh,
let me
what if
say
we
this.
did this for every mark? 50,000, 100,000, 150. We have something that Chris Ranji can do or reveal.
Fine.
If we hit 150,000, he'll tell us we get to meet his wife and kids.
You get to meet my Chicago wife and children.
Oh my gosh, what a great idea. Who texted that? Thank you for
Yep.
that text.
All right. Yeah, from a 618. Go ahead, text it in. It's probably my mom. She's probably like, I would like to know if he's got a kid.
There's probably
I'd be a great grandmother.
Are there a lot of ladies wondering that?
Whoa, slow down. Slow the hell down. Come on, man.
I'm starting to see why you shouldn't dress as Pope. At any rate,
This
yes,
texter
I think,
This texter says,
yeah.
I say do it. Someone's got to find out if the man upstairs gets mad about it. The only way to I would find out. How am I going to report back to you?
Yeah.
So,
That's a great point.
like, yeah, I could do it and I could be in trouble, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, someone did say people need to stop being offended by everything because the Pope is there, meaning the White Sox #1 fan.
Right. So
The Pope is there. I mean, he is. He's their most famous fan. For sure.
And then it's probably Obama second.
Yeah.
It's pretty
The
good.
Pope has huge global appeal.
Oh, this texter, and by the way, this is out. This is just absolutely
Okay.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
I say Chris has to wear a Speedo in public for a full day
No,
if you
but-
guys reach 100,000. I'm not going to
I
do
think,
that.
you know what?
And the Pope hat.
I know.
Oh, okay. Now that would be
sacrilegious.
clearly
Now
that would
we
be
know who
clearly
the-
offensive.
That's offensive to me. That's offensive that you said that.
Why would you even suggest that?
Okay. Okay. Wait.
Don't
right
you
now,
feel bad for the show?
If we hit 75,000, Ranji will not wear a Speedo. That will prevent us all from having to see him in a Speedo.
There you go.
If we hit 100,000, he's going to go to the White Sox game as the Pope. If we hit 150,000, we get to meet his wife and kids.
This listener says if you reach 100,000, Chris has to call the sister on air. Okay.
Oh, these
I don't have her
texters
number.
are amazing.
I don't have her number.
You have her Instagram.
I do have her Instagram.
Matt can get her Instagram.
But yeah, so we'd have to tell.
We're going to Google sleazy girls in Chicago.
Must have sister.
She wasn't sleazy. Don't say that. That is a rude thing to say about a lady you don't know.
Because she was with you.
Oh, really? One of these days, I'm going to bury you.
We got to make a chart for all the, like the thermometer.
I only go out with nice ladies.
We need to have the thermometer, and every time we hit a different mark, it prevents him from wearing a Speedo, or he has to call the sister on air.
I only go out with 10s.
Please donate, you guys. We are really going to rock Chris Ranji's world.
Damn, man. Just taking bullets from everywhere. It's Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji. KMOX.com/Red Cross. Donate now. You dingus.
Bernie Miklas here for Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer. The Saliga family's been taking care of generations of St. Louisans since 1927. The Miklas family has relied on Saliga for about 17 years, and we well know that Saliga sets the standard for honesty, knowledge, professionalism, and prompt service. In our experience, Saliga has always looked for low-cost solutions to save us money, and Saliga can service all makes and models and can handle your heating and cooling needs for home or business. I recommend Saliga's Priority Club. It's a maintenance program that'll save you money by extending the life of your current equipment. You'll receive priority scheduling and have the comfort of knowing your home is safe and ready for all seasons. Family owned and operated for nearly 100 years, Saliga offers free estimates and financing options and still has the best and most trustworthy customer service in town. To find out more, call Saliga at 314-481-7883 or visit SaligaHeatingandCooling.com.
The Peace Lily is so last year. Hey, has anyone worked with fiddlenecks?
Shelby's popular flower shop is in full bloom.
We just got a request for an arrangement that evokes air. Who's up for that challenge? No?
She needs to hire a floral designer to nip foliage faux pas in the bud.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com. This Memorial Day weekend, bring your crew to Busch Stadium to see the Cardinals take on the D-backs. May 23rd to the 25th, catch great promotions all weekend long, including a Mason Win bobblehead and a Kid City Connect jersey giveaway. Kick off your summer with ballpark hot dogs, ice-cold beers, and entertainment for the whole family. Tickets are available at Cardinals.com. This is how summer is meant to be. See you at the ballpark.
This is Alec Burleson, St. Louis Cardinals, for the Lou.
Catch a Cardinals game on your next date night or friends night out. Whether it's love in the stands or laughter with your crew, nothing beats ballpark vibes under the lights. Cold drinks, great eats, and Cardinals baseball. Check out Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium and enjoy happy hour price food and drinks all game long. Every Friday home game. Get your tickets today at Cardinals.com and make memories that go beyond the scoreboard. Busch Stadium, where great nights begin.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Amy Marks Coors, Chris Ranji on 104.1 FM KMOX, and it is time to go to the guest line today. Hey, we are very proud of our aquarium here in St. Louis. It's one of the great attractions that we have, and people from all over the country, when they come to visit, will go see the aquarium. It has been voted the 4th best aquarium in the country, and to talk about that with us is Tammy Brown, the executive director of the St. Louis Aquarium, with us on KMOX. How you doing, Tammy?
Good morning. I am great, given that good news that you just shared.
Yeah, 4th best.
Wait, are we breaking the news to you?
Are you finding out just now?
No, we learned about it yesterday with everybody else. We're just so happy and so honored. I mean, this is the first time that we were even nominated, and to come in at 4th is just incredible.
The USA Today, it's the 10 Best Readers' Choice Awards, and 4 is pretty good for a place that's what are we, like 5-6 years old now?
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. Just 5 years old, December 2019. And so I think it really came about because we are the most interactive aquarium in the entire nation. And our team has just embraced that and welcomes everybody as they come through, and you get to connect with our animals and our team members, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, for some people who haven't been yet to the aquarium, as you mentioned, it's 4th best in the nation, number 1 when it comes to interactive. And people might be thinking, how do you interact with an aquarium?
Do you get to swim with a fish?
Right.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Well, we have lots of touch pools, first of all. So you get to touch stingrays and sharks and moon jellyfish and these little guys called doctor fish that come and nibble on any dry skin on your hand, which is just a wild sensation. I have to tell you, you have to give it a try. But then on top of that, we have feeding demonstrations, and we have team members that you get to interact with. You get to meet everything from tarantulas to snakes to a sloth on our ambassador stage. So there's just constantly something fun going on.
Tammy, should I be afraid of stingrays? Because after the crocodile hunter thing, I am.
I get it. That is a frequently asked question.
Is it really?
It
I
is.
really thought I was
It
the
is.
only person
Absolutely.
thinking of it.
No.
Wow.
So the stingrays in our touch pool, the barb on the stingrays is just like a fingernail. And so we go in and trim it on a regular basis so that there is no danger whatsoever to interact with those stingrays.
Oh, okay, I feel better.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was, a few years ago in Florida on a stand-up paddleboard. And then I see this giant shadow that's like maybe 5 feet in diameter. And then I realized it's not a shadow. It's a stingray. And it was so big.
Cool.
And it was cool, but also terrifying.
You were thinking of the crocodile hunter, weren't you?
You know what? I don't think I was thinking. I think I was panicking. I might have blacked out because I do think the ocean is so scary. Like it can feel terrifying. I don't know if it's because at least on ground, like if you're facing a bear, it's scary. You're probably going to die, but at least you're on you're on your surface land.
Tammy,
When you're in water, you're in their environment.
Like about a year or two ago, Tammy, we interviewed these the guys who were with the Army, the Golden Knights parachute team. They jump out of airplanes for a living, and they were all terrified of the ocean.
Get out.
Yes,
Seriously?
these guys
Oh my
jump
God.
out of planes for fun. They do it like 10,000 times a year, and they did not want to go anywhere near the ocean.
Do you get that a lot? That people are kind of afraid of like jellyfish and then those really deep sea creatures?
I do, yeah. And I think it is exactly to your point that it's not, they live in a place that is not ours, not our natural habitat. But the truth of the matter is that they are probably way more scared of us than we are of them. And for the most part, if you don't engage, they're just going to swim away. Like they don't want to engage with you either. So it's just I know it's hard, but like if you stay calm and just kind of let them do their thing, you're going to be fine.
Are you sure? Because people keep talking about these bull sharks will eat anything.
Well, come on, Ron.
Yeah, they'll eat whatever's in front of them. So there's got to be some of those we have to be afraid of.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be near one if they're hunting. I get that. I get that.
So with this aquarium being the most interactive, who came up with that idea? Like who said, hey, we're going to make this St. Louis Aquarium the most interactive in the country?
Well, I think it's been a combination and kind of an evolution. So the designers, the original designers are PGAV, a local architecture company that designs zoos and aquariums all over the world. So we're really lucky they're here in St. Louis. They worked with the ownership of LHM, so Steve and Bob O'Loughlin, and then the company that was hired that I work for to manage the aquarium is called Zoo Oceanarium. And so it was just kind of a great brainstorming of all those groups that I just mentioned. But then as the years have gone on, we have added more and more, and the team, on site, the operations team has really embraced the whole concept, and everything that we add, programming, habitats, whatever it is really focused on that interaction.
So do you, when you make new attractions or you do new things at the aquarium, how far out in advance do you plan it? Or is it sort of, can they be accidental? Like somebody just has a great idea and you think, let's do it within the next couple of months. Is it like that? Or do you plan well in advance how you want to, continue to progress with it?
All of the above. So
okay.
if we're developing, a new habitat, a brand new exhibit, that is a good long year, to get that all done and in place and the animals acclimated and all that good stuff. If it's a program like this year, we did a Valentine's evening event. And that was a brainstorming session with, a couple people. And a month later, we had the event launched and ready. So it kind of depends what we're planning. But one thing that I love about the team here is that we are all so creative and so flexible. We've only been open, to our point, about 5 years. And so I always say we're way too young to say we've always done it that way.
Yeah.
So the ideas just flow and everybody's welcome to throw out suggestions, and that creates a really dynamic and fun group to work with.
Tammy, is there a turtle there that's on wheels?
There is a turtle here, not on wheels. Our sea turtle that we have, Quasi, in our main habitat.
Bob's in the water. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She got hit by a boat years ago, and so it has a little air in her shell, and her back legs are partially paralyzed. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but she does great. She swims like a champ, man. She's amazing.
How old is she?
Well, we don't really know since she was hit by a boat. So we don't know what age she was when that happened. But just by her size, she's probably somewhere in her teens.
How long? Can't they live like a really long time?
Oh, yeah, like 50 years or so. So she will be here for a good long time.
Tammy, I'm going to ask a really stupid question.
Well, that's all.
Yeah, but this is actually extra stupid. But like the shell,
Okay.
So she was hit by a boat. Did the shell work or not? As the protection, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
No, it's a great question.
Because it's like
Yeah,
a helmet.
it did,
So
for sure.
you can still die with a when you're wearing a helmet.
You know what? Like, how did was the shell crushed or is the shell okay? And then,
The
like, how come
shell
she's
is-
hurt?
Yeah, the shell is okay, and that's a great question. Usually, what happens is that the injuries are more to their flippers or their head or something. So that shell certainly does absolutely protect them, but it can have like a helmet. To your point, it might have a little damage to it, and that's how the air then becomes a pocket in there. So,
if I'm continuing stupid questions, you mentioned you had like a Valentine's night at the aquarium, correct? Yeah. Is that because oysters are an aphrodisiac?
What?
That's a great question, but no.
Okay, I didn't know. If
We
maybe
don't
the
have any
aquarium.
oysters, and no, it's a good
We are never
question.
going to be allowed in the aquarium ever.
No, we're not.
Are we banned, Tammy?
wait,
are we
you don't
banned
have-
from the aquarium?
No, you need to come on over anytime.
They don't have oysters there.
No.
We did have, though, you remember I mentioned those doctor fish that come over and nibble on your dry skin
Yeah.
and all that. A lot of times our team will tell anyone who's a little nervous about putting their hands in there that they're giving fish kisses. So we did play that up on Valentine's Day. So there you go. We got that.
Who gets to name all the fish and animals?
Mostly our team members.
Okay.
Mostly our team members name them. Although, little fun fact that you can watch for, we are introducing a new kind of reptile named a tegu on our ambassador stage, and we're just about to launch a naming contest for him. So check that out.
Can we get involved?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be on our Facebook page. I think even today they're announcing it. So.
Okay, great.
Oh, so it's a tegu?
Tegu, yeah, Tegu. He's from Argentina, and he's like black and white, and he's
Yeah.
got these amazing giant jowls. I mean, he's so cute.
That's awesome. We're
really
looking
cool.
forward to
Okay,
it.
this will be good.
Tammy Brown, executive director of the St. Louis Aquarium. We think that the aquarium is much better than the Texas State
I think we can
Aquarium.
overtake Texas State next year.
And-
I'm not even joking. I
and
think
we're-
we can
Take
do
him
it.
next year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'm in.
Ripley's Aquarium. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I-
Wonders of
you know-
Wildlife National Museum and Aquarium. Get lost. with
One
that.
at a time. I think we can take Texas.
I agree.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Tammy, thank you so much for being with us.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. This is a great honor, and we are very proud to have the aquarium in St. Louis.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
That is Tammy Brown, executive director of the St. Louis Aquarium, number 4 in the country. All aquariums, according to USA Today 10 Best. It's the Reader's Choice Awards. We should probably do a show from inside the aquarium,
100%.
Amy. And I think we could probably do like in the water.
Yeah. Underwater show.
Maybe.
Well, it would sound cool.
We could get
it would
those,
sound bubbly. It would sound like Matt's stomach.
Oh my God, his stomach, it won't stop.
It's the most bubbly thing I've ever.
Why
I'm
are
really
you
hungry.
Do why do you always have tummy grumbles? What's going on with you?
The breakfast doesn't take every morning. It's
It
like I
doesn't-
didn't eat it, and
Have
I'm
you ever
starving by
had-
11 o'clock.
But that's the thing about breakfast food.
What?
It's like they say when you have breakfast food, like the eggs and whatever, that you're hungry in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Um,
is about breakfast
I don't
food.
get it.
Have you ever had your tummy grumble on a date and you had to explain?
Yeah, and I always say, "Oh, I'm just really hungry." Like, oh, we just ate. What are you talking about? Oh, big appetite.
Because you don't want to say it's gas.
Yes.
I've had.
Hang on. These underwater sound effects sound just like it. It's so gross.
Ew, gross.
That's actually the microphone up to my stomach right now.
Can we just say too?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but I really held it together and saved you with the turtle question.
Yeah, that turtle on wheels.
No, he's not. He's bobbed up and down.
I
It's
remember.
a water turtle.
Why don't they name him Bob?
Because I
It's a
think
she.
she was
It's a she.
named before she
Well,
got.
I know there are ladies named like Bobby.
Okay.
But that was Scott Jagow when he was
Yeah.
roaming St. Louis last year, and he found the turtle that was that they bob up and down in the water because it's paralyzed, which I think is cute.
It's so sweet.
What was the turtle's name? I forgot already. Anyway, go see
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo?
Yeah. Quasi for short, I think.
Oh.
That's what she said.
Well, that's kind of rude.
It feels a little.
Hey.
Turtle doesn't know.
Anyway, hey, when we come back, we need to hear from you because we've made different levels of donations because again, we need you. We need you to donate. KMOX.com/Red Cross. You guys are amazing. You are showing up for St. Louis. You are loving your neighbor. You are supporting your community, those who've been affected by the tornado. And we just want to reward you with that by, at the $75,000 level, Ronj will not wear a Speedo.
That's right.
Because if we don't hit 75,000, you do not.
You'll be spared. You'll be spared. Because
are you good at what shoes wear you will with the Speedo?
I think it would be nice to just go one day and be out there, you know?
Well, you would be, but if you're in the Speedo, are you gonna wear your like tennis shoes that you always wear or boots, like cowboy boots?
I don't have any boots.
You gonna still wear the hat, glasses, and tennis shoes?
Yes.
And
How am I
just
gonna
the
see?
Speedo?
How am I gonna see?
Okay. When we come back, we gotta tell everyone the different levels.
KMOX.com/Red Cross. Donate. I thought I was crazy about being worried with the stingrays. I'm afraid of stingrays because of Steve Irwin. But I guess a lot of people ask that question. That's Amy Mark's course. I'm Chris Ranji, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Mizzou football is here to stay. After an undefeated home season and a second straight 10-win year, the Tigers are looking for more in 2025.
Eli and the boys have done it again.
With a top 10 transfer portal class and a strong home schedule highlighted by Kansas, Alabama, South Carolina, and Texas A&M, you don't want to miss out. Get your spot in line by joining the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Hi, my name is Christina Straight, the owner of Straight Realty, and I'm asking you, what do you want in a realtor? Do you want experience? I've been a broker for over 21 years. Do you want to know how much I've sold? I've sold over $500 million, yes, $1 billion with a B in sales. Do you want value? I now list properties for only 2%. So if you're looking for all these things and want the best, then call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than $2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and unenforceable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
If you are a shelter insurance policyholder and have damage to your home, car, farm, or business due to the recent storms, please call 1-800-SHELTER. That's toll free 1-800-743-5837 or report your claim online at shelterinsurance.com. Early reporting of your loss will help Shelter schedule adjusters to handle your claim. Take whatever reasonable steps you can to protect your property from additional damage and call 1-800-SHELTER to report your claim today.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house, on the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing, Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't hate, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Chris and Amy Show, 104.1 FM KMOX. We are still raising money. I say still, we're going to be doing this for a while now. The link is active. It has been all day. KMOX.com/Red Cross. And we are all the money that you donate to the tornado relief effort that is happening. This is being done in conjunction with Fox 2 and the Red Cross and KMOX. All of the money that you donate to this link is going to stay right here in St. Louis to help out in this recovery effort. So we're pretty proud of the way things have gone today.
Amazing. Thank you so much for donating.
Yeah, and St. Louis really has come out in a very big way. We are at 48,000. We started the day under, hell, I think we were under 10, weren't we?
Yep.
Like right before the show started, it was like 9,000, a little over $9,000.
Yeah. So thank you so much to everyone who has donated at KMOX.com/Red Cross. It's just unbelievable, the outpouring of support, the outpouring of the community. We thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great. So KMOX.com/Red Cross. I think we had a fun show today for the most part, didn't we?
I think so.
I think we should take phone calls.
Okay, we're not taking phone calls.
Oh.
We're not doing phone calls.
We're not?
No.
We only have a couple minutes left. I cannot believe, again, we are close to $50,000. Close to
$50,000.
Yes. So thank you so much to everyone who is just showing up for the city of St. Louis. Thank you to everyone, my goodness, who is donating. I just think seeing the outpouring of support, whether it is people showing up to help clean up streets, help clean up the damage, to those who are bringing supplies, water, food items. I know tarps, people who have the ability to help tarp and board up windows. And then now, like I said, this is such a great way with the link, KMOX.com/Red Cross. Thank you. Keep showing up for the community. Keep showing up for your neighbors. As we talked to Lucretia earlier from the Red Cross, saying over 150 people in the area.
Yeah, 159 people
are at Red Cross shelters right now.
Yeah. And this is a need that's going to persist for a while, right? I think we know that this is not going to end by the weekend. We're raising money now, doing all this work, people volunteering their time and supplies and money and everything. This will be needed for a very long time because we know that it's not going to be fixed overnight. Won't be fixed in the next month. It won't be fixed this year. I mean, this will take some time. So we are going to have to be persistent with it. And we definitely appreciate all that you have done today, all that you have donated.
Mhm.
But we need this effort to continue. We're at 49,000 now. So,
Well, and now our nonsense is over, and the Gas House Gang is going to continue.
That's right.
The Glover Show, like I said, we're done. But then this is when the Gas House Gang, the Dave Glover Show, KMOX, and Fox 2 will all go live with the drive.
yes. So this is what you need to know. On your smart TV, if you download the Fox 2 STL Plus app, you can watch the Gas House Gang on your TV. This is a Fox 2 streaming service or their streaming app, Fox 2 STL Plus. Find it in your app store on your smart TV, and you can watch the Gas House Gang and then Dave Glover at 1 o'clock. Dave Glover takes over at 1 o'clock today. So thank you again. Don't forget KMOX.com/Red Cross. This has been the Chris and Amy Show. Anything you missed today is on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, and KMOX.com. You can listen to the podcast. But the Gas House Gang, Bernie Miklas is coming up with me, Chris Ranji. That is next on 104.1 FM KMOX.